We are live!
We are live! We are live! Welcome to the Virtually Rek't Christmas special. We have my esteemed colleague, Mr. Power on VR. Hello, Mr. Power on VR.
Hello, Mr. Mac
We
in
have
VR.
we have my other esteemed colleague, Mr. IndieVR.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, and we have a very special guest star, Mr. Buck 3131 with his Christmas hair.
It's not strictly Christmas hair. It was just what I had in the cupboard, to be fair.
It sounds like you've got like a whole rack of like toupees, but specifically in your style.
Well, they're just like carpet strips that I just put on with the Velcro on. Yeah, different ones. This is the,
Right, so
the easy clean shag pile that I've stuck on my head.
this is the Christmas special, so there is drinking games going on. You can go onto my Discord or anybody else's Discord that's here, and you can check the rules of the drinking game. So before we get started, though, I need to ask, what are you drinking and what have you been playing? So, Mr. Buck 3131, what are you drinking and what have you been playing recently?
I am not partaking of the alcoholic beverages today, unfortunately.
No, but Zen
so
is making us all drink.
Yeah.
Shit, here we go.
And this is one of the reasons why I'm not. No, I'm just on water. The thing that I've played most recently was I did my first 2 hours in Asgard's Wrath yesterday.
Okay, we will be talking
Charles.
about that later on. I do believe. I do believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only. The other thing I've been playing has been the Resident Evil 4 remake in VR as well.
Yep, which
on
we
the
definitely need to
PlayStation.
talk about. Yeah, definitely need to talk about. Right, so Indy, you are not drinking, but you are. What are you doing?
Watching you guys drink and puke all over yourselves
To be fair,
Okay,
I didn't do that live last time.
and get your stomachs pumped live on the stream. I'll be doing. I'm doing. So I'm doing hot wings. It's more like hot legs. I'm doing green chilies, like really strong green chilies. And I'm doing green chilies with a shot of Nandos sauce. So it depends on what people donate. And whatever people donate goes to Alzheimer's, and I'll match however much we get at the end of the day.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Cool.
So yeah, good
off
causes
to a
all
good
round,
start.
people.
Yes. Mr. Power on VR, what are you drinking specifically? What are the rules of your drinking game, and what have you been playing?
So my rules are slightly updated after last year because I vomited fucking everywhere. Like I reseeded my grass, my lawn, the amount I vomited last year, and then I don't know if I actually posted the pictures in the end or the videos of that my wife took of me like sat on this laying on the sofa trying not to vomit. But yeah, I've updated it slightly. So we're doing anything up to but below a fiver is beer. Anything fiver and beyond is sours, and then £10 and beyond, I will do vodka. And
this is supposed to be better than last time because I'm not sure mixing those is going to be good for you.
yeah, but I did this last time, but I also had rum and.
So you've removed one part of it. Oh, everything's going to be fine.
No. The problem is
Definitely
last time is
Gotcha.
that my shot started at what I didn't realise is my shot started at essentially 93 pence because
And
I
then-
fucked up.
And then
Weeble
was
took advantage.
Weeble was donating 79p, 79p, 79p.
I got actually obliterated. But so yeah, it is slightly updated. And if anyone makes like any kind of blinding donation, I'll go and find something insane to do. So, you know, there is that. Like, we'll do it as a special thing. I'll either go find something ridiculously stupid to eat, or I'll shotgun a can, or I'll
Shotgun
do
a can.
something.
This is where you need something like Treat Stream so people can send you ridiculous foods to eat.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
That is not a
sounds
bad
like good
shout.
idea.
The problem with me having things sent to me is that I am one of them crazy dickhead vegetarians.
Not today. If they send it through.
Not today,
People
as they
have
send me
paid. Yeah.
Wagyu steak.
Right. So what about Mac? What are you drinking?
Oh, hang
What
on,
have
hang
you
on.
been
What am
playing?
I playing? It's a VR podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I played
Oh,
some
you're not
stuff.
done. Sorry.
So I played. I did the same as Buck. I did a few hours of Asgard's Wrath, which we'll talk about later. I actually went to a VR arena as part of the HTC Christmas event, which I'll probably talk about later as well.
I had the invite for that, but unfortunately I couldn't get the time off.
No, I couldn't go either, unfortunately.
It was an odd day to put it on, I thought. But...
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. I'll speak about it later. Anyway, so like Asgard's Wrath is pretty much been my go-to. I've played a decent amount of Pavlov zombies, or rather, like the PavZ, DayZ Pavlov mod. I've been really enjoying that. I've come to the conclusion pretty much that I love shooting games, and I'm one of those dickheads. So, yeah, shooting games, lots and lots of shooting games. Anyway, yeah, do the next person because I've been talking too long.
Well, it was Mac, as I said a moment ago. So, Mac, what you drinking? What you been playing?
I've got my favourite Pinot Grigio. The rules of my drinking game are anything below a fiver, I will have a drink. Anything above a fiver, I will have a very big drink. And anything above £10, I will finish a glass off and I will top it up and everything like that.
You're going to down a glass?
Yeah, so the reason
Nice.
I did that was, oh, fuck off, here we go. The reason I
So
don't
the question,
have any...
the question I have for this then, so you're all doing this. So if
Yeah.
someone donates to one person's chat,
Yeah,
does
then
that
I
mean
do-
everyone has to do it?
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I don't mind if everybody else does something different, but that is what I'm doing. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
where
Okay.
you donate people. In fact, I'll
Well,
I'll
I have them
do-
all open. So if you want me to keep an eye on that for everyone, I can tell you
Yeah,
what's
I've got
going
them
on.
open here as well. The
Okay.
reason is because last year we just used to do the podcast on my channel.
Yeah,
And
sure.
then at the beginning of the year, we started doing the podcast on everybody's channels. So,
No, that's fair enough.
right. So what I have been playing, okay. I have been started off with Arizona Sunshine 2, which I thought was tremendous. Played it with co-op with Shuey and Weeble. Did a bit of Horde mode, played the single player, thought it was really good. Resident Evil 4 VR mode. I played all the way through that. I did, I think, 4 or 5 live streams, maybe even 6. I did a review, so that was fucking amazing. I've been playing Doom. I've been playing the Team Beef Doom 3 VR mod for the standalone quest,
Okay.
which is excellent.
I did tune in for your stream earlier today. That was good.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and then it started crashing because I was running the MetaQuest Developer Hub 2 at the same time, and it didn't like it. Asgard's Wrath. Yes, I've played about 6 hours, but we will talk about that later. So that's what I've been playing, and that is the rules of my drinking game.
So what's the plan for this evening? What are we going to be talking about? Do we have topics? Do we want to go through the year in review of things that have come out, the headsets that have come out, the games that came out? What are we doing?
So there isn't. We usually have some sort of written list plan.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've actually fucking got that this time.
But we have a guest, so we'll be completely disorganized. Excellent.
Yes.
We normally have a list,
Because
yeah.
we
but
also know
since you
that
came on.
Buck is generally the one that organises everything, especially when we do all the meetups and stuff in real world. I'm the one that tends to organise all of those.
I think what we should do is we should start off. Let's just get the fucking elephant out of the room and talk about Asgard's Wrath. All right. Let's talk
Okay.
about that, and then we'll do like year in review stuff, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right.
So who? Right. Hang on. Has everyone played it first?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's played it. Okay.
So how long has everyone? So I have played 2 hours.
I've
played
about 3.5.
6.
You
I've,
played 3.5.
I've
Indy?
done 2, maybe 3. No, 3 and a bit hours. Yeah, 3.5.
Okay,
maybe.
fine. All right.
So none
you
of us
just-
have
Because
completed
I,
it.
from what I hear, there is a big difference of
Hey.
opinion. Oh,
Thank you,
there we
Slow.
go.
Right. So this is for you,
So
Sanquility. Sorry, carry on.
So while they're doing that, no, that's fine. So from my understanding and what I've heard
Thank you, Slow
through
Coach.
other content creators and other things that I've seen online
Son of a bitch.
is there is a big difference of opinion of this game depending on how long you have played it for.
Yes. I completely agree.
So I'll give you my thoughts. So I played 2 hours,
Yeah.
which essentially means I have just started what's called Saga 2,
Yes.
which is where you end up in a desert, basically. And I will be completely honest, it has not really gripped me. I think it's doing a lot of things very well. I think it looks very nice in places. I think there are places it doesn't look very nice. I felt it was very narrow, as in you had to follow a set thing all the time. You couldn't bring that. The story didn't really grip me. I thought mechanically it's really good. I really like the mechanic thing. There's one thing that I didn't like mechanically wise, where if you're climbing up or down ropes, you don't actually have to climb if you don't want to. You can grab the rope in a specific place and it just teleports you to the bottom of the rope and you're done. But every time you do that, if you're holding something, you are not holding it when you get down there. So you have to constantly pick stuff up again, which was a bit... So if you're like holding your sword and grab the rope, by the time you get down, you have to let go, grab your sword again, because it's not in your hand, which I thought was a bit odd. The cutscenes that it has are these huge, spectacular set pieces that you have no interaction with whatsoever, and you just glide through. And I've seen that done before in I Expect You to Die, and I think they did it better. But that's my opinion.
So far, that's the most
two-
reviewy thing you'll probably hear on this podcast ever.
After those 2 hours, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back in, but after hearing what people have said of what happens after those 2 hours, particularly where you hit the Saga 2, the game kind of changes and really opens up. And I'm like, okay, I'll go back in. So I am going to go back in and try, do some more and see how I feel about it. But it worries me that it takes 2 hours for a game to get good or to get my interest. And I'm kind of like, because the average battery of a Quest 3 is 2 hours. If you're playing solidly.
Oh God!
Right?
I'm just gonna have to stop everybody there because my stream has fucked up due to the fucking streamer Discord disable this button has just fucked me. So just give me a second. I will leave the chat. I will leave the call, and I will come straight back.
Oh, here we go.
It's all going to look very weird for a
fine.
second, people. But
It's
Zed,
all gonna
here you
look
go.
very weird.
So that's my opinion. I've had my arsehole torn out for it as well because it's the internet and people,
They go
you
fuck
just
off.
want to be different. And I'm like, no, I'm not being different. I'm just saying what I think. Other people I hear are loving it and thinking it's amazing. I suspect they've played it a lot more than me. But again, it's, is it the type of game that you like? And is it the type of game you don't like? That's interesting. He's popped up in a different place. Oh, it's because he hasn't put his video on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone's going to move around.
On my stream, it looks like I'm talking to myself, which is fabulous.
So, like I say, I think it concerns me that I have to do 2 hours, and now I've got to do at least another 2 hours to see if it's as good as a lot of other people are saying. I can't, any game for me, doesn't matter whether it's VR or anything, but it shouldn't take 2 hours and then start to get good. I know a lot of people said that about some of the Final Fantasy games. They're like, oh, it gets good after 10 hours. Fuck off.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
fuck that.
I'm like, I don't have that amount of time.
Have you done any of the? I don't know when it actually starts. Whether it starts.
So I
think it might-
literally just got to the desert.
Okay, so I don't think you've started the roguelike stuff.
Nope, I haven't done any of that at all.
Because I mean, I'm not saying that it's for everyone, and you definitely shouldn't buy the game for the roguelike stuff. But for someone like me who is super into roguelike games, there is an element of the game that is a roguelike element, and I'm super into that.
Paul, why has it taken me 2 hours to get there?
Yeah, this is it.
That I do feel there's going to be a lot of people who will play it, and after 45 minutes, we'll go, and just put it down.
I agree.
I may be wrong, and other people, I'm not wrong because it's my opinion, but there will be other people. No, it's amazing. Cool, really glad you like it. But at the minute, I'm like, something needs to change.
I fully went into this game expecting not to like it. And I know that's ridiculous. Don't judge a book by its cover. I've seen like all of the different like let's plays and like here's 10 minutes of pre-footage and yada yada yada, and everything just said to me, this isn't going to be your game. And if I had to pay for it, I genuinely would not have bought it. However, because it comes free with the Quest 3, or bundled with the Quest 3, however you want to put it, I decided to install it this morning and load it up specifically for the podcast so that I actually had an opinion, because I didn't want to go into this and be like, oh yeah, it looks all right, I guess. But
I think technically it's an achievement. Where it looks.
100%.
I think, it's like the first couple of things you do are actually pretty like, wow, that looks really good for a Quest.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, this is AAA VR. And it's like, there's no such thing as AAA VR yet.
There is. I disagree with you fundamentally. Indy, your first 2 hours.
More of the same as Asgard's Wrath. To be honest,
Did you play the original?
Yeah, not all of it.
I know. On caveat, I've never played the original.
Yeah, they said people are saying after 6 hours, then it gets to really good, and I just and the fact they released it, they gave it free in the Quest 3, but they didn't have a Quest 3 graphical upgrade until this week coming or whatever. And for me,
I don't think they were going to, but I think the amount of it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad on the internet has made them do that.
God,
I think they bullied them into doing it.
Okay, Classy, you're going to have to tell me what I'm doing here. I can either try and chug a beer, or I can go and get something ridiculous to try and eat. Yeah, just let us know what you want me to do, and that'll do it. Either that, or I'll do 2 shots of vodka. Your choice.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Bye. Carry on, Indy.
Oh God, even that one chili has fucked me. Yeah, so
I'm going to end up running this podcast on my own.
Yeah,
within
so,
half an hour.
Yeah, like this.
I want to know who's going to vomit first out of me and Mac or Indy. Like,
I'll probably shit before I'll vomit, mate. To be honest, just live on the patch.
As long as we can't smell it through the camera, I don't care, mate.
I'd literally just filled my glass up as well. Cheers, Classy. That was brilliant timing.
I will catch up with Classy and Nindy. I just need a bit of time because those chilies are fucked.
No, do them now. Get a blender out, mix them up, and shot it.
Let the man
That'd be
talk.
easier. That'd be easier. Where was I? Yes, I didn't have the upgrade, which is fine. I played it. It seems like more of the same. If you've never played the original Asgard's Wrath, or if you're a Quest 2 owner and you don't have PCVR, then I get why people say it's so good. But I've played the original one, and it's pretty much seems the same. But then I don't know later on what happens, and I didn't read what happens if it was a guy after 6 hours, and who knows what mechanics come into it. Yeah.
At what point have you got to? You got to the desert?
I got to the first pet that you control.
Oh, okay.
Samira.
I've seen that.
Simbura.
So I don't know if I'm going to sit down and finish it because I didn't finish the first one. Really, I should go back and finish the first one. It didn't blow me away, but I get why people are wanking over it because it's on the Quest 2 and it's the only game like that. Yeah.
Right. In the meantime, Simon V has also donated £10, £10. So
I've done my vodka. Yeah, no, so far I'm enjoying it. I have enjoyed it. There's another £5. Jesus Christ.
Right.
I'm only doing shit for sorry guys, I'm just doing stuff that's on my channel, yeah, because I'm gonna die if I do it for everyone. It's like literally I will die from chili poisoning.
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
It helps Simons.
So
okay,
go Mac.
Oh, sorry, Indy. I thought you finished, mate. Sorry. Carry
No,
on.
no. Just carry on. It's fine, mate. Yeah.
Right. So I've played about 8 hours, but I'm 6 hours into the game. If you see what I mean.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
I got stuck. So there are these.
Oh,
For
yeah.
God's sakes, Walking Dead's here. There are these things called Loki's warp. Loki's warp. Fuck. No, not called Loki's warp. Fucks.
Yeah.
They're called Loki's
Loki's
warp
genital
thing or
warp.
other.
Okay.
And basically there are parts of the map that you can't get. So I've got to the desert. I've got Samira, whatever her name is, which is pretty cool. She's really good. But I'm going to take on one of the Egyptian gods, and to get to that point, I have to go through one of Loki's voids, and I can't get through it because I'm not high enough level.
What is the void? I don't know.
It's basically so there's a point on the map where you can it's open, but there's a point.
What do you
on the
have to
map...
do? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay, it's combat. So you get put into arena, and then you get attacked by enemies.
Right.
So
So like wave combat, where you stuck in an arena and things come up, or at a location you have to move through?
Okay, so oh my god, this is so difficult because you haven't experienced parts of the game that I've got to. So
and from my point of view, I don't care about spoilers. I don't care,
right, okay.
but your audience may do, but I don't care. That's fine.
When you get to a certain point, the world opens up, and there's a lot of things you can do. You can go down. You can do the rifts, which is like the roguelike stuff that Shub was talking about. You can go and do the daily challenges. There's lots of stuff in the map that you can just go and like mess around, collect stuff, destroy statues, blah blah blah. But I don't know what saga I'm on. I think it might be saga. I think it's saga 2, but I'm quite a way into the saga. I'm actually getting towards the end where I'm going to go for the boss fight. But dotted around the map, there are these things like the Loki voids. And if you stumble into one, it's like a combat arena. You get closed off into a circular area, and then you get attacked by waves of enemies. So like not massive waves. It's like 4 enemies.
So kind of like until you fall level, where you kind of like in one little instance.
No.
Okay.
There'll be a couple of waves of enemies that you need to defeat. And then once you've defeated the enemies, the void is broken, and you can then go on. Unfortunately, this particular one I'm going into, the enemies are level 10 to 15. I'm only level 6, and my partner Samira, she hasn't got any upgrades, so she basically goes, "Ha, I will take you on," and they go, and she's dead.
Did you know what level the enemies would be before you went into that void?
No.
That's a problem.
Yes.
And you can't back out of it.
That happens throughout the game, even up to the point I am several times.
Yeah, so if you die, you just basically go back to the save point. But the problem is, to progress the game, I have to go through that void.
Okay, yeah, all right, fine.
So basically, I've played, on my game save, it says 6 hours, but on actual playtime, it's actually 8 hours, because I've spent 2 hours trying to get through that fucking void, and I can't do it.
So are there like other areas you can go to try and grind to level up then?
Yes.
Instead of going to that void? Okay. Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, I got so close a couple of times that I was like, no, I'm going to go and do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, we need to catch up. Right, so this is Simon V's glass of wine.
Okay, so baddie, for you, Bassy, I'm going to do a shot of vodka, but I'm also going to do something that I fucking hate. I've just sent my wife to find something that I love anal.
Should have told me that ages ago. I would have. Yeah, go on.
Right, so she's gone to find me something that she knows I truly fucking despise to eat.
Nigel Farage!
No, she's found me a mince pie. I fucking hate mince pies. They are rank. They are so horrendously bad. And she's regretting her choices now because she loves them. And I'm about to take something away from her. Is it the last one?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Okay, I'm only allowed one bite of it apparently, but I don't want to eat one bite. Come on.
Oh dear.
How big a bite?
Walking Dead's just done another $10.
Lovely.
Oh my god! Swallow.
No, savor it. Savor it.
I'd rather eat a bag of chili.
Did he say
That's
a bag
next.
of penis? He said a bag of penises.
That's next.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
wife's gonna get-
so right, I'm a veteran of Asgard's Wrath. I played it a lot. When Asgard's Wrath 2 got announced, I went back and played Asgard's Wrath, the original, on my PC properly. I actually got up to the 4th.
Cheers, Classy.
I think there's 5 heroes. I think I got up to the 4th hero, and I really loved it.
Walking Dead.
Oh God, yeah. Sorry, Walking Dead. This is for you.
Walking Dead. Oh fucking hell.
Yeah. So I'm a Asgard's Wrath veteran, and
I don't need the bucket yet.
This is going to be controversial, but I don't like Asgard's Wrath 2 currently.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Not at all.
No. I can see. I can. It's hugely
Just not
in
for you.
depth. No, it isn't, because Asgard's Wrath I thought it was amazing, but because I played it on PC, this is a massive downgrade for me. The graphics they're pretty good for a standalone Quest game.
They're very good for a standalone.
They are
Quest game,
they
to
are
be
very
fair.
good. They are very good. But when you get out into the open world, it's very bland. There are moments where you're in sort of combat and you've got these little, like the god puzzles. I absolutely love the god puzzles. But at the moment, I'm not very happy because of the point that I'm stuck at. So I think I'm going to have to go back and do some rifts. I'm going to have to go back and do some daily challenges to get some skill points and build my character up so that I can take on those level 10 to 15 and get through to take on the next god. Oh God, here goes Indy.
It just concerns me that it's, I've played for 2 hours and I didn't die in those 2 hours. I went through everything until I got to that point, but I haven't hit any of the stuff that you're talking about. And
okay, so later
just...
in the open world bits, you need to keep an eye out for little caves, and you have to do like this little sprint sort of duck to get into the caves in the open world.
Mm-hmm.
And in those caves, you will come across enemies that are level 20, 30, 40. And you're like level 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, right, okay, they're obviously doing that to sort of make you come back to that at a later date when you are a high level. And then, that's great. I mean, it's like any RPG.
It's Skyrim. With Skyrim, you will stumble across something and go, can't beat that. I'll come back later, which is fine. And if that's the sort of game that it is, then that's the sort of game it is. Yeah. But I'm just surprised it's taken me 2 hours and I haven't found it's that sort of game.
No, it's taken me 8 hours, and so what I want to clarify is, it's to me it's not as good as Asgard's Wrath because it doesn't look as good, and it. Oh God, this is so hard. I don't know why I don't like it, because I should like it. You see what I mean?
No, I get it. Again, it's everyone's taste is different in what they play and that sort of thing. It's like, to be fair, there's been other VR games that everyone have lauded about, and I'm like, it's all right, but I'm just like, it's like I genuinely find Red Matter 1 and 2 boring.
I really enjoyed.
Mac hated that comment so much he left in advance.
I'm going to unfriend you. Red Matter 2 is one of the best games. Yeah. Okay. So this is why we have you on the. This is why we have people like you on the podcast.
I thought it looked really nice, because it does. They both look really nice. They're very pretty games. They're well made games, but it's just dull.
The thing about Red Matter 1 and 2 for me was it had just enough intrigue in the sci-fi storyline that I was consistently desperate for the next little crumb of information. And I get why that wouldn't, if you're not gonna find every little thing, I get why that isn't a thing for a lot of people.
It's interesting because I am generally a story guy. A good story will hook me in, and I'll go, okay, I want to see what happens next. I want to see what happens next. I want to see, and I don't have that feeling with Virtually Rek't 2, and I didn't have that feeling with Red Matter 1 or 2 either. I've finished both of them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they're easy to play. They're not very taxing. You can sit down and casually go through them. You know, there's no time limit on anything on any of them. Some games where they're like, you have to do it now, and I'm like, no, that's not me.
Sorry, Buck.
No, it's fine.
I really
can
love.
keep talking while you're drinking. I don't mind. It's fine.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up.
You don't want dead
Indy's
air on
already
your
dying.
podcast. So
I've just finished Walking Dead's $10 on my channel, and now I have to do
a
Weebles.
fiver.
So that we're
Fiver.
clear, this bottle was half full when we started.
Oh,
I'm not
shit.
sure this is a shot glass.
I think it's a pint
Are
glass.
you going to work tomorrow?
The thing-
Let's just have
The thing I loved about Red Matter 2 was I loved the puzzles because some of them are pretty mind bending.
Yeah, and again,
I really enjoyed it.
There was nothing for me. There was no real reason that it was saying, "Oh, you've really got to do this puzzle to get to here." And I'm like, well, yeah, but nothing was really making me go, "Oh, I need to know what's happening next," because nothing was really happening.
Okay.
In my opinion. So
as like to clarify Asgard's Wrath, the reason I'm not enjoying it is because I'm stuck.
That sparks more of frustration than it does of game design.
But
So that's a game design flaw, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you've managed to walk into an area that you can't walk out of.
Yes. Yeah. So as far as the skill, he looks like he's in trouble. As far as the skill tree and all the other things that you can do, when they're saying it's like a 90-hour game, I can totally see that. I mean, I'm a completionist and I love collectibles, and I'm looking at all the things I've got to do, and I'm gonna go, oh my god, this is like Red Dead Redemption 2, where you go, right, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do this. Oh, there's a deer. I'm gonna go and hunt that and skin it. Oh my god, look, there's something over here. It's that kind of gameplay where you get distracted by stuff.
Okay. So again, it's like talking about games like in this day, it's like I'm not a huge fan of those big open world games where they can you can do whatever you want. And I'm like, I don't want to do whatever I want because I don't know what I want to do. I want you to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, so I can go and do it. No, but I need that, not necessarily a strict path, but I need something that is more, because if I'm given too much choice, I'm like, eh. And also I find games that do that tend to not, the core gameplay loop, which is what everything comes back to in every game for me, is so disparate that it doesn't all gel together in my mind.
Yeah.
But I get that other people love them.
I'm still waiting for that to happen with this game. Like,
it does happen. It does happen. There is a point where, for God's sakes.
But it shouldn't. It should happen within 2 hours.
No, it can't. It can't, because this game is so. You need to learn all the mechanics in the first 2 hours, so that you don't get stuck like I fucking did. I know.
I think when you consider my point on this is when you consider the battery length of the Quest 3 is about 2 hours. If you just did solid, I think my Quest was at 85% when I started playing it. So and I don't have a battery pack. I do, but I never do it. I just play it, and usually I'll play, and when the Quest says my battery's going to die, I go, oh, okay, and I'll come out, and then I'll charge it, and the next day I'll go and play it again. I'm not going to keep plugging it in for stuff. And I think there's a lot of other players like that. So my concern is people will do the first 2 hours and then go, meh.
Yeah, but the problem is
like
it's like, I think the problem there, that's a gamer thing. So you either want like the Spider-Man 2 experience where it's like bang, 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 or you want the more sort of, oh God, I've got this open world, what can I go and do kind of experience. And I do think Asgard's Wrath does that really well, because like if you go through the menus, there's so much to do. I mean, you don't even have to go and do the story. You can just go and do the side quests once they open for you. It's just like my frustration is that I want to see the big boss. I want to fight the big boss. I mean, have you got the Panther?
No.
Who?
I've literally got to the desert, and the guy was there and said, "Right, let's go and do stuff." And then it went, "Your battery's going to die," and I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." And that was it.
Okay.
So I haven't done anything in the desert at all.
Okay, so there's a really good puzzle where you find a shipwreck and you go into your godlike self, and you have to move parts of the ship around and then go back to being the dude. And the dude has to like climb a wall run, and then you have to move stuff around, and it's really clever.
I look at those puzzles, and again, some of them are quite, the ones you do, and I'm kind of like, "Oh, this is Moss."
Yeah, it is.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, and that's not a for fuck's sake.
Drinking's
Walking
easy,
Dead,
guys. You
you've
try
got
doing
the
this
option
shit.
again.
swap places with
$20.
you.
I can either chug a can or I can go find something stupid that I fucking hate eating.
Chug
The
a
rest
can.
of
Good
the mince
choice.
pie. The rest of the mince
No,
pie.
because Amy,
just the
Amy
inside
of the
mince pie.
And the Weeble's just on a $5 as well. Oh, for fuck's sake! This
The
is why
problem
this is the
is-
shortest podcast ever.
See, the problem is Indy earlier said, "I'm only going to do ones that are on my channel," which means people are going to stop donating on the other channels.
No, that's
and only do it on
fine.
his.
Like, I'm more than happy for the money
They're
to
just
go
pissheads.
towards charity, man.
They
Like,
don't care,
that
they'll drink
does not
anyway.
fuss me whatsoever.
No, I was just thinking about poor Indy. That's all I'm saying. And if someone hadn't thought of that, there you go. So...
Oh, fuck me. Right, Walking Dead, you
Kill him!
drink the best.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Taz. We don't have any Christmas pudding, otherwise that would be perfect, because I also fucking despise it. Hang
Oh, I
on,
like a nice
my
bit of
wife's
Christmas
gone
pudding
to
with a
find
bit of
something. I
brandy
need
sauce.
2 of whatever you find.
I do get the feeling I'm not going to get a sensible conversation about anything today, am I? So...
I'm dribbling on
I
myself.
like how this is going to be like
Right.
another 10 minutes and Buck's just going to sign off.
Right, hold on.
No,
This is
it'll be another
Tassos.
10 minutes, and I'll have to carry on because you lot will all be fucking passed out. So
This is Weeble.
What's that?
Ah.
Okay, she did offer me chocolate orange quality. I could try and eat a potato.
I wouldn't do that. 'cause
Fucking
that-
raw potato.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's really not good for you as well.
Okay, so,
Just so you
let's
know.
just like sum up. Like, so start with Buck. Sum up your experience with God's Wrath in 30 seconds.
I think I can see where the money's gone. I can see it's a very well made game. I think the opening 2 hours are fairly slow, where they're trying to introduce the mechanics here, and the story within that is not hooking me to play it more. And the only
Right.
reason I'm going back in is because other people have said, "Oh no, now it gets good," and I'm like,
Okay.
So it's just
so-
concerning that it's taken that long to get going. That's the thing that bothers me.
Okay, that's fine. Shuey, what's your opinion of Asgard's Wrath in 30 seconds?
Okay, story isn't hooking me. Don't give a shit about it. Don't give a fuck what's going on. There are gods, whatever. I stood in a hall with Horace and I looked around and I actually looked around and I was like, oh, that looks crap. And then I looked around properly and I was just like, actually, this is a standalone headset and it looks pretty damn good. As far as the combat, I'm actually enjoying it much, much better than Nexus. Yeah, so far, 3.5 hours in and I'm actually enjoying myself and I didn't expect to. So, happy days. Also, just a quick note on the end of that. The battery is a fucking drainer on the Quest 3. When they introduce the Quest upgrade graphic system, I expect it to drain it even farther.
Yeah. Okay, that's something we can talk about later. Indy, what is your in Asgard's Wrath 2 in 30 seconds? If you can still speak.
More the same. I haven't played enough. Graphics are standalone, but it's good for standalone. Combat's good. Good. I like the variety of enemies. I'm not even that far into the game. That's one thing that stood out for me is the variety of enemies so early. Hopefully, it carries on changing the enemies, and I'll have to finish 1 before I finish 2. That's the way I'm gonna have to do it, and that probably will never happen because it's too many hours.
Okay. All right. So Asgard's Wrath 2 in 30 seconds. Mac in VR. Right. I agree with Indy. As you get further into the game, the enemies get more and more diverse, and their attacks get more and more challenging. Combat is pretty good. I've just got stuck, and that's frustrating me. I'm gonna carry on playing because I think it's.
So
really
this
good.
is a half and half hot sauce and vodka. All right, Walking
God.
Dead.
Jesus.
There we go.
Can I add a caveat to my 30 seconds? It's like mechanically, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Mechanically,
my
all the
God.
mechanics in it work really, really well.
That axe. Have you tell me you've got the axe?
Yeah.
Oh,
Stravia.
Yeah. You can throw and catch the sword as well.
Ah!
Fuck.
Right. So,
I'm glad I'm the only
As
one
a-
suffering.
as a caveat to what Buck said, you can upgrade the axe, and when you upgrade the axe, it becomes fucking crazy because you can throw it, stop it in midair, change where it's going,
Mm-hmm.
pull it back to you, and you can also have these trails. Whereas if an enemy crosses the trail, it damages them. So you can like deliberately just throw the axe over there, chuck it over there, bring it back to you to form a triangle, and then your enemies like walk into this trail, which damages.
So
I mean, what everybody
I
else
will
is
play it more.
dying.
My
Yeah.
opinion may change, but
Yeah,
I-
I know this. I know your time is precious, but I think you should give it another 4 hours.
I'm looking to give it at least another 2.
Yeah, okay, give it another 2 quest batteries.
Yeah.
We're all
For half an hour, then
laughing.
you got half an hour back. 2 quest batteries.
Okay,
man.
so I want to talk about one subject before, and it goes back to something that Buck said earlier in the podcast where I said I fundamentally disagree with you, and it is what is your VR game of the year, Mr. Buck 313
Of the
I'll ask
year.
of the year?
So are we saying the one I've enjoyed the most or the one I've
Yeah.
played the most? Because those are 2 different things.
The one when I said that popped into your head.
Synapse.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I'll
Wow,
tell you
yeah.
why. Synapse is the first, and I think at the minute still the only game that has actually used the newer technology within the PlayStation VR 2 headset as part of a gameplay mechanic.
Yes.
Everything else uses it to make it look better. And that's great. That's really good. I get that. That's a really smart thing. That's why GT7 is fucking amazing. And I play it all the time. You know, once a month I host the race night with Zim. We do all of that.
Walking
But-
Dead, you're a fucking awesome guy. Well done.
You've just got a load of gifted memberships going through. So
did.
yeah, Synapse for me, and the reason I say that, I also, so at its heart, Synapse is just a wave shooter, but
Oh yeah.
it's an incredibly polished wave shooter,
It is.
and the added special source of that technology of using where you're looking is what you're holding when you want to use the telekinesis. Every other game I've played that has that usual VR thing of reach for something and you have to kind of move your hand a little bit because you're not quite on it or where the game thinks you're looking at, and that is just gone. It just, the whole thing just felt incredibly natural. You didn't have to think about it. It just worked. And it was kind of like that for me has been the standout thing, to the point where, so there's only 2 things that I came back to do some streaming and a video for later on this year because it sort of drifted off a touch. And one was Synapse, because I played it the first time and I was like, okay, people should see this. And it was that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So that's, and even with Synapse, even the art direction of the game is used to highlight that mechanic.
Yeah.
And it's used to highlight that thing. So, and I think that's a really clever design choice. And yeah, that would be my one. That is the thing this year has most impressed me, I would say.
So that was like a technological move where they were using the eye tracking to, and as well. I think the monochromatic thing. People are like, oh my god, it's so black and white. It's like, no, the reason they've done that is so that when you're looking at a crate and it lights up, you know that you can manipulate it. Yeah, or an enemy.
It's a short game.
Oh,
it's a very short game. It's essentially, and Mike said this at the weekend. Actually, it's a 3-hour game stretched over to 9 hours.
Yeah, because you have to,
which is fair enough, because you have to do the same thing 3 times.
3 times, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But when you're having fun, and I was just like, when I was playing it on the stream, I think it was actually Weeble said, "Can you get 4 enemies in the air at the same time?" So I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, kill. Did it.
All right,
And
I thought
that's
you meant like
kind of
grabbing 4 at the same time.
No, like throwing them in the air. Throw them in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then shoot. And that was like, for me, that was amazing. And I really enjoyed Synapse. Like, there are criticisms of the story, but I thought like the voice acting and like sort of the graphical style and everything was really, really good.
It was the mechanics that got me.
Yeah,
it was that.
Yeah,
I liked it. I liked it as well.
Oh, Indy speaks.
Sorry, guys, my
not
mouth's so burning. I did like it. I really enjoyed it. I played it one time through.
You played it on hard though, didn't you?
Yeah, I played everything on the hardest mode, and I didn't use all the power-ups you unlock the first playthrough, and I fucking loved it. Then when I got round to doing the next playthrough, I played for about half an hour, and I was like, "Oh, this is too easy now." But it's a brilliant game. It is really good. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
It had for me as well that just one more go thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing as well I had
definitely.
with it.
But it kind of had that roguelike sort of thing, like those really compelling
And
roguelikes.
I like a good
really
roguelike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like a good roguelike, and I think they did really nice
shit.
roguelike mechanics with it. Yeah.
Do you fit?
It's just donated.
There were things that it could have had that I would have liked. Like I would have liked more like environmental things that you could rip apart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you had like people standing on a bridge and you could rip the bottom of the bridge out and they'd all fall
and let them fall to their death. Yeah. We're all cynics.
But I also understand what you can and can't do within the tech. So,
Yeah. Slow coach.
Thanks, Fitz. I fucking hate you. Cheers.
But I would say, if I'd say Synapse for that, but also, I would also say the advent of mixed reality stuff.
Yeah.
So I think stuff like The Cabin, and we can probably talk about that.
Cheers, Slow Coach, for the one you did.
So, Indy.
Yeah.
Indy, so in between eating chili, oh, for fuck's sake, Glugs. In between eating chilies, fucking Fitz has just done you. I haven't even caught up with what Fitz has donated on your chat. Right, so what was your
vodka?
What was your game of the year, mate?
The game that I see, there's two. So that, I mean, for me, my indie game of the year is Isle of Pan, I'd say, because I fucking love that game.
Taz, you wank.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's basically you go to these different worlds and it's all trippy and like crazy art. And then you got to take photos of stuff. I'm not doing it justice, but just what the single developer did in that game was fucking amazing. I love playing that game. So that would probably be it. Yeah, and anything that isn't indie, probably the most fun I had was Resident Evil 8.
Oh, Village.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You played
because I never played it before. Sorry.
You played 4.
I played a couple of hours, and so far I prefer 8. But the thing is, I'm not even at the castle yet. I like.
They are two very different styles of gameplay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
Sorry, I've had to take my hat off.
It's getting so warm in here, man.
Shuey, what is your game of the year? The game? No, the one that when I say game of the year popped into your head. I'm trying to catch up with. Sorry, this is Fitz's.
Do you know I had it in my head a second ago, and it's kind of disappeared. So the game that I probably played the most of recently, that's in my head, is Arizona Sunshine 2, which is not. I get a lot of people. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Every belch is the resonating fucking vodka
Mince
hot
pie.
sauce shit.
Oh, I'm doing the double down on these chilies because I'm 6 behind.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
I've Arizona Sunshine has reignited in me my love of zombie wave shooters, and I know that that's a genre that a lot of people are just like, oh, but it's just a wave shooter. But the competitive side of me, the want to compete against people for that leaderboard thing. I rarely get the leaderboard give a shits. But with Arizona Sunshine 2, I'm able to go back to a classic that I used to fucking love spending time in. And I have spent probably 30 hours, maybe even 40 hours in the past couple of weeks trying to smash that leaderboard. And I still don't understand the point system. And so at this point in time, I am only at number 6 in the world. And it's driving me insane.
Only.
Fucking fits.
Is that cross-platform, that leaderboard, or is it just a platform you're on?
It's cross-platform.
But we were for a brief moment #1 in the world for 3-player and 2-player.
And 2-player, yeah. But that was very early. That was very early. That was day
Was that
one.
before release, by any chance? Just
No.
No. That was after release, but only by a couple of hours.
But we were #1 in the world on 3-player and 4-player.
Oh, fuck me, Fitz. And
dude, I was like number 3 in the world
hell.
on Pistol Whip for a while, but that
And the
disappeared.
count.
Dude, I was like #1 in the world in Pistol Whip until fucking Proper D turned up and fucking shat all over my
Count.
Right, so what's this? This is Fitz. Oh, has he done? Oh, he's done
done it
2.
again.
He's done 2. Yeah, there's only one. So what about yours then, Matt? What was your
It's dead.
game of the year?
My game of the year is Resident Evil 4 VR mod. Mode.
Sorry, you mean the
Jesus.
remake mode? Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Resident Evil 4 remake VR mode.
Mhm.
I
fucking
streamed
Fitz.
it. I played it. 6 live streams I did. That is like being in a Hollywood blockbuster film non-stop for 20 hours. It was fucking incredible. It looked amazing. It played amazing. It was slick. You can't tell me that's not the best video. It's not just the best video game I've ever played in VR. It's one of the best video games I've ever played.
I haven't finished it, mate. so I
Holocaust
couldn't tell you.
Tangent has become a member. Like a dog licking its own nads indie.
Sorry, guys.
Fuck was that? Oh, Fitz, man. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So this is where you're coming up against me saying there's no AAA VR.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're saying this is AAA VR.
Thank you for remembering that. Yeah,
That's fine. So my caveat of there is no AAA VR is
Built from the
it's
ground
not
up.
a VR only game.
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit because it's a VR game. It's like
a mod.
Resident Evil 4
No.
is
The game was originally made to be played on a flat screen, and it has a VR mode. So it has not been solely designed for VR. So in my opinion, and it's again my opinion, that is not a AAA VR game. That is a AAA game with a VR mode.
I fully agree with Buck here.
fundamentally disagree with both of
3
you.
against 1.
Okay.
3 against 1.
No,
mate.
no,
Half-Life
no,
2.
right.
Half-Life 2 VR mode.
Can I explain why I think that Buck is right on this and you are wrong? The reason is because a dedicated VR game uses every element of VR in order to create that immersive standpoint. And with the flat screen game, what they've had to do is they've had to bend it in order to create this VR experience. I'm
There
not
is
saying
an
it's not a good
awful lot.
experience.
There is an awful lot of button presses.
That's another thing for me. That made it.
Right?
Yeah,
and
I
I get it, and I
Yeah,
understand why it's there, but that is my fundamental difference.
Okay, so we're going to take Half-Life Alyx here as the example here because everything you do in Half-Life Alyx is a physical movement. That's what you're saying, isn't it? Okay.
Yep.
Right, Resident Evil 4 is a far, far better and longer game than Half-Life Alyx will ever be. And I love Half-Life Alyx.
I'm out.
It is.
I'm not saying whether it's a better game or not. I'm saying that it's not a dedicated VR game.
Yeah, because if you made that from the
And
start,
it doesn't
from VR,
matter if it's
totally
better or
different
not.
Story.
I will play Elite Dangerous until the cows come home.
Oh,
right?
yes. I agree.
But
Brilliant.
that's
It's-
a game with a VR mode. I will play
Yeah.
GT7 till the cows come home, but that is a game with a VR mode.
Yeah.
They are not built from the ground up for VR. That's
And they
my
aren't selling
distinction.
VR, I don't think.
I don't think anyone saw. Well, I don't think a huge amount of people saw. That's got a VR mode. I must buy a headset. I don't think Resident Evil. I don't think it sold headsets.
Not to any usable
Mm,
extent
yeah.
on statistics.
I'm not talking about. Okay, going back to the Half-Life Alyx thing. Obviously, that's Valve, and Valve do things differently. There are
Yep.
no other games like Half-Life Alyx.
Nope.
The best game in VR is Resident Evil 4.
And
VR
again,
mode.
I'm not saying it's a bad game, because I love it. I really enjoy it. I'm just saying it's not a dedicated VR game. That's my only caveat on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I take your point, and
So that's not my VR game.
What I
maybe,
say
then.
takes nothing away from what you say.
I need to drink.
But I'll tell you,
What I
yeah.
say takes nothing away from anyone else's opinion. Everyone can have their opinion. It's fine. Of
course,
if
yeah,
you, want, you
yeah,
think
I
that,
totally
cool. I'm really happy for you. And I think this, and I'm really happy for me for thinking that. And that's fine. It's like, you know, you've only got to put something on Twitter saying it's something that's a bit of a different take to anyone else, and someone will come along and tell you a new one. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But that's my caveat. And I've been doing VR for a long while, much like yourselves, and it's kind of like, no, that's what I need. And I think that's why this year I've been slightly disappointed towards the middle of the year, because stuff wasn't really wowing me. I haven't had that my God moment in a VR game for a long while.
This is a really good point, actually. I'm going to make this, and it kind of I completely agree with you on this point. And one of the best times I've had in VR was with the Doom 3 VR mod by Team Beef, and that is not a fucking VR game at all. They just like squeezed VR into it, but it's so good. It is so much fun. Is it as good as Half-Life Alyx? Of course it isn't, but it's like a 20-year-old game, but it is good. And
So here's another thing. So we were fortunate enough to go and try the Unreal Engine VR mod before it was released, right?
And we were told not to talk about it.
No, we were told to talk about it. We were told, get it out there, tell people what you've done, because a lot of people don't believe that mod is real. That's what he was saying.
Oh,
so
right,
he
okay.
was like,
didn't know that.
tell everyone you can, because there's a lot of people who go, this doesn't exist. And basically, it's a tool that they've created that can make any Unreal Engine game be usable with VR, which is that's pretty clever. And one of the things they did is there were certain games that we played where if you didn't tell me they weren't VR games, I wouldn't have known it wasn't a VR game. And that's predominantly driving, flying, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Travel. That was amazing.
Yeah. I was like, man, my first question was does this game have wheel support? Because I'd play this.
Well, yeah.
But we also played
Life of
Terminator.
Pi.
No, sorry, we told
RoboCop.
No, not Terminator, RoboCop Rogue City. Now, we played that using 3 DOF controls on the hand instead of and I've completed Rogue City. I loved it. It's one of my favorite games this year. I would play that whole game again in VR with 3 DOF controls because it was so much fun.
It was.
And again, it's fun, and that's what I want from games. This is why I don't play Souls-likes, because I find them hard, and I'm like, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy dying over and over again. I don't like the challenge. I like games to be fun. I like games to be fun.
I'm going to take you back there. I'm going to take you back there because you said you play games for fun, but you said that Resident Evil 4 is not the best VR game, but it's more fun than Half-Life Alyx.
But that doesn't,
absolutely.
That doesn't make it that those two
It's
are
more
completely
fun.
different statements.
Yeah.
The reason I liked Resident Evil...
Fun is subjective. Built for VR is not subjective.
Indie?
The reason Resident Evil 8 stands out for me so much is because I love the original Resident Evils, and then towards after the first few, it started getting action based, and I stopped playing them. So going into 8, I thought this is going to be a pile of shit. Now, if I played that in non-VR, would I enjoy? Would it have the same effect? Yeah, no.
See, and I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed 4. I remember getting 4 on the GameCube when it first came out. I was like, wow, they've completely changed this mode player. This is my sort of game.
I love that puzzle horror. I like the horror aspect of it, the puzzle horror. But to tell you the truth, Resident Evil 8 was fucking had some crazy horror bits in it. Like, have you you've all played it, right?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really cool.
I don't play horror games. So again, it's another one of those. But like, I have watched streams of it because I was interested in the story. But I'm like, I'm never going to play this because I know I'm not going to enjoy it because I don't enjoy horror games. But I play Resident Evil because I know that's not really a horror game. That's an action game.
Oh, fuck. You know, obviously never watched any of my streams, but I'm fucking screaming like a big girl.
Yeah, no, the beginning of 8, I did stream that, and like the bit where you're going through like the divot, and it's got like the birds in the fucking trees, and I'm like batting them out of the way, and I'm just like, no, I hate my life. It scared the living shit out of me. But I'm not a horror player. Like, you've seen my videos on fucking Crawl Space and that bullshit, and
yeah, exactly.
I get upset with horror games.
I do. I check it out, and I won't do it. I remember I ended up streaming. I think it was the Exorcist game, and I literally got to the bit where you're in the church at the beginning, and I turned round and the statue moved, and I shat myself, and I could hear something else, and I was like, "No, I'm done." And I was like, "I'm out." Like, sort of thing is like, I know I'm standing in my lounge and everything is fine, but I don't like this, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I love horror.
Right. So hold on. Sorry, did Cole just donate and we will just donate at the same time?
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yes, they did.
Fuck.
I got 6 chilies and 6 wings to go. And I've gone pale.
How is your asshole still attached to your body, mate?
Ask me that tomorrow.
Right, that was
After I send you photos.
I do think it's very important to make that distinction that I'm not saying they aren't fun games, because they are fun games, okay? Because, I'm really enjoying Resident Evil 4 Remake in VR. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. And I'm really I really enjoy Elite Dangerous. I really enjoy Squadrons. I will play Squadrons again and again and again. Same with Elite Dangerous. But they're not dedicated VR games. And that's fine.
At the same time, we have sat here and discussed Asgard's Wrath 2, which is obviously like a huge divide in what we're talking about, when that is as close as damn we can get to a built for VR game.
Right.
Oh, no, that absolutely is built for VR. Absolutely. And as I've said, mechanically, everything in it works perfectly for VR. Mechanically, it's incredibly solid.
Slick.
Said, I feel from what I've heard from yourselves and other people that I am not far enough in to really appreciate what is there yet. That's what it sounds like to me. So I need to go, okay, I am disappointed that it's taken that long. And I'm wondering if there are other people who've gone, nah, and dropped out of it because it's taking that long without knowing what's to come. Yeah. I'm in the fortunate position that I know you guys and other content creators and other VR people who go, oh, no. Once you get to this bit, it really starts to, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. So I need to push through and get to that, and then maybe I'll go, oh, no, okay, I see what this is doing. But it just, I just find it frustrating.
Oh, temperature.
Oh, it's because it's fucking green. I'm still fine. I'm only 38 degrees. It's all good.
That's normal human temperature. Right, okay, Indy, what are you doing at this moment in time? You're doing hot wings, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got 6 hot wings and 4 chilies to go.
Yeah, good.
Is that what you've got left? I reckon just fucking neck it, mate.
What, the chilies?
I was going to say the hot wings, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm going. Got two here. How many hot wings have I got left? Fuck me. 6.
So
6 and 4.
Can I ask another question then? So everyone said their favourite, or
I was going to ask this question.
What is the worst of the year?
Oh, that is so easy. Firewall Ultra.
Interesting.
Fucking awful.
Have you gone back to it
No.
since release?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right. No, it's fine.
Right, so
That's
no,
all right.
it's right, okay. So I'm going to go through the conversation that we had when we first played
Mhm.
it, because I first played the multiplayer with you.
Yep.
I think Shuey was there as well. I
No,
think maybe no, I can't
with
remember who
me.
was there. Okay, so we played Firewall Ultra, and I was like, "This is fucking garbage," and you were like, "No, it's really good," and I was like, "How can you say that?" And you were like, "Because I played the original on the PSVR, and it's really good." And I was like, "It's so fucking janky. Everything there's like 4 ways you can aim the gun."
If you were just about to say everything is a button press, I would point you at Resident Evil 4 Remake VR.
No, I didn't. No. The thing that got me was the fact that there was 4 ways to aim your gun,
Sure.
and I was like, oh fuck, I'm dead, and I just like I'm done. Like on day 1, I was done. Like so, and you were saying to me, no, you need to, and I did have a bit of fun in the live stream. There was a
Mhm.
point where we were doing quite well, but then we came up against experienced Firewall players,
yeah.
and they just fucking devastated us.
This
was like,
this is the thing
"Nah,
with that
I'm
game
out.
is
I'm out.
if you are an original Firewall player, you can understand why they've done what they've done. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, actually, because I was talking to someone else about Firewall, and everyone ragged on the aim down sights mechanic, which is basically you held the weapon, you pulled the front trigger, and it would snap to your eye to zoom in. Yeah, and then that would do more damage, and then rather just holding out. And then it suddenly occurred to me, oh, I know what this is.
Population 1.
This is the no. It's the snap aiming that you have on flat screen Call of Duty, where it snaps to that. Yeah. So on a flat screen game, if you want to aim down sights, you hold a button and it pops it up because you can't physically move that weapon. Yeah. So they've taken that mechanic and applied it to a VR game that doesn't need it, because in a VR game I can move the gun to my eye. And that's what it is. And I'm kind of like, oh, and I applaud the idea of, okay, you're trying something new, and you're trying to. I don't think they explained it well enough within the setup of how it works and what it does and how you can use it. I also think it doesn't fit with the game, because if I shoot someone with the bullet, if I am looking down those sights or not looking down those sights, that bullet should do the same amount of damage, and it didn't. It did more damage if you were looking down the sight, and that does not make sense. So while I can understand what they've tried to do, I fundamentally disagree with it.
I'm going to reflect a thing back at you that says built for VR, and that doesn't sound like something that's built for VR.
No, I would say that is built for VR, because they're trying a different type of mechanic in VR. But they're taking a flat screen mechanic and applying it to where it doesn't belong, in my opinion. But it is built for VR.
It felt like that it was built around the aim
controller. It's not a flat
controller.
screen version of Firewall.
Yeah, it was like it's built around the aim controller.
It was built for an aim controller that didn't exist.
Actually, yes. Actually, that's something you said, but during the during the stream, you said, "I wish I had an aim controller," and we're like, "Fuck yeah!" But the thing is, right? So I've been playing Contractors and Pavlov and Onward for years, and when Firewall
I think
Ultra
they dropped
came
the ball.
out, but the thing is,
Walking Dead, buddy.
Oh my God, Walking Dead, fucking hell! Right, sorry, we have to.
Yeah, but no, like I say, I think they did not move with the times.
They did. So, like, what happened was on the day that we streamed, and you were there, and I was like, okay, I don't like what they're doing, but I think I can get away with it. And then we had a little bit of success. I was like, right, actually, this is quite good. Then we came up against the Firewall fucking veterans, and we were like, fuck, we got owned, because they knew the mechanics. And I was like, that's not right, because this game should be about like your reactions, holding the gun up, and aiming and firing.
Well, it still is in a way. In a way, it still is. The issue is No, I get it. The issue is their onboarding within the game did not explain enough to new players.
Yeah.
And when experienced players from the previous one, like myself, because I'm like, oh, I get this straight away. I was in and was like, oh yeah, yep, no problem. I got this because I played a phenomenal amount of that first one, and I could see the onboarding for the new ones, and they had the same issues at launch as they had with the first one, and it was like, how have you not learned from this? And it's like you've fucked a lot of this up, and you've not moved with the times, is what it felt like. I need to go back because I understand they've done a lot to it now. And I thought the aim down sights mechanic was interesting, but not needed.
But they lost the player base. So before we get into like one particular game, can we talk about 2023?
No. We've all got
to go. We've all got to do our worst
games.
games now. You've just said that. So
Yeah, sorry.
Indie,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Indie.
I forgot.
What's your worst game of the year?
Is it
He
Chili
can't talk.
Contest?
1 second.
Okay,
It's-
should we
it's-
ask
it's-
Chewie
no, it's
while
fine.
we're
It's
waiting?
It's
sure?
Willy Wonka's chili challenge.
Assassin's Creed Nexus. I've never had such a
Interesting.
miserable time playing through a fucking game in my life.
Why?
Just watch any of my fucking streams. Because
I haven't watched any of them when
Oh.
I'm on a podcast with you now, so why don't you tell me?
I thought
Go
you were going to
watch
say
it and-
Vampire Masquerade.
I haven't played it properly. I just all the hand holding, like the auto aim with the bow and arrow. You can't turn off the fact it auto tags everyone. Looking through, like, it just takes away all the stealth mechanic of it.
Said quality.
The
Have
fighting.
you played flat screen Assassin's Creed games?
I played the original years. I know it's true to the flat screen ones,
No, okay.
but
Yeah.
it's VR, and I just found it completely immersion breaking and boring. And it's like they call that a stealth game. I don't call that a stealth game. It's got stealth mechanics, but you can see through the fucking walls. And I was shooting like that and looking away and just doing that and killing people, and it was just shit to me. So it had its good points. It looked great, and the parkour was fun. But then I did a 3-minute review. If anyone wants to know my more, that's pretty much it. It was a letdown.
Chewie?
Propagation Paradise Hotel
Why?
was fucking. It was boring. It was so like so that we're clear here, right? I was probably one of the most hyped proponents of Propagation Paradise Hotel because I really enjoyed playing the free version on Steam when it came out years ago, and I was in touch with the devs throughout the whole development process. They sent me like alpha footage before a lot of people. They kept in contact. They were really they sent me a key ages before it came out. And go through my videos on my channel and try and find a live stream or a review of that game. I was so unbelievably bored by that game that I just didn't want to put any effort into it, and I feel so bad for the developers. I didn't see the game actually being phenomenal and going and they weren't putting in shitloads of marketing or anything. So it wasn't like what I said was going to kill it for them. I decided that I wasn't going to have anything to do with it. But there were several points where they were like, "Oh, there's a locked door here. You probably need a fucking key for it." And I was like, "Cool. Where's the fucking key?" And then spent an hour wandering around being like, "There's a baseball jersey. That's got to be a clue." Yeah, no, like the game for me, it was it's horror, which is not my thing, but it was zombies, which is my thing. I know those two don't really go hand in hand.
No, they
very well.
do. They can do very easily. Arizona Sunshine and Arizona 2 are not horror games, but
No,
they're
they're not. They're comedy
Same thing.
zombie apocalypse games.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I really didn't enjoy it. That was probably the worst game that I played this year.
Was it bad, or were you just disappointed with what it was doing?
No, that is a very fair point, actually, Buck. Thank you for that, because I think that might actually, I might have to go back to the drawing board. I think I was just so heavily disappointed with it that it's tainted the memory of it in my head.
Mhm.
So I don't think it was horrendous. I just don't think it was good, and I was so disappointed by it that it made it worse. I think
And
that's
now
a fair
the other
point.
side, isn't it?
I loved it. I thought it was a great game. Short, fucking too short. 2.5 hours, I think.
So why did you
Fuck.
love it?
Oh, it scared the shit out of me.
Okay.
Oh,
And that's what you wanted it to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. But the final boss battle. I mean, I remember watching Indies.
Why is he frozen? Everyone's frozen.
All has crashed on my end.
Oh, I think
Hello?
Indies crashed. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
No,
there
he's
he
back.
is.
Do you
Yeah, the
remember
Discord
I was
keeps
watching your
stuttering.
stream and you didn't know how to? You were like, you couldn't figure out how to kill him.
Kill who? We cut off there, mate. So I don't know what you're talking about.
It's one of the
Oh, sorry.
bosses in Propagation Hotel.
Propagation.
Oh, the last
final
boss. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, I don't know how to kill him, and it was like,
And I said, don't help me because I'm a prick and I like playing games in the hardest mode. yeah, I remember
that's
that.
right. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed Propagation Paradise.
But see,
Hotel,
this
but
is
yeah, it was
fine.
fucking short.
This is what I was saying earlier. It's fine that you like it
Yeah,
and
it
you
is.
don't, and
It
that's
is.
fine.
It is.
It's really interesting to hear other people's opinions.
Have we covered everybody's worst game of the year?
No, got mine to say.
Okay, Buck. Wait, Buck. What is your?
You might know what this is, I think.
Hold on, I'm trying to sort my bobble out. What is your worst game of the year?
Right. Now, this is my worst game. And for now, as you guys know, I am not one who does hype. Like when it comes out, I say, but I let myself care about one game. Oh, someone's gone.
Oh, what's happened?
I don't know.
He's left the
like
call.
Paron's disappeared. He'll be back in a minute. And for me, my worst game of the year was Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord.
Oh, do you know what? I didn't play that, but I'm pretty sure that would be up there for me.
And I'll tell you why. I have said for probably 7 years, we need a 4-player co-op Ghostbusters game in VR. And I was like, and then NG was like, we're going to make one. I'm like, yeah, well into this.
Brilliant.
And I was, bothering them constantly to find out more about it and this sort of thing. And it came out. I bought it on the Quest. I fired it up. And
There he is.
I fired it up, and I did the opening bit. The sort of, this is how the mechanics work. And I literally went, oh no. Out loud. Brett.
That's so weird. When I go look over there,
Honestly,
Everybody else is-
art design, the design of the ghosts compared to the design of the environment were very disparate. Nothing fit. It didn't match. It felt like it was built all around money, about how we're going to get more money out of people. It's like, after knowing what happened with how it was made, as in the way that Endreams and Sony were talking and dealing with it, I can understand why it is what it is. The thing that got me the most about it is I couldn't understand who it was for.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Because it's like there is Ghostbusters is not a kids franchise, actually that's not true. Ghostbusters did not start as a kids franchise. In the first Ghostbusters film, there's a scene where Dan Aykroyd gets a blowjob from a ghost. That's not a kids film. Right?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What
There
film?
was a scene. Ghostbusters.
What?
There is a scene in the first Ghostbusters film where Dan Aykroyd gets a blowjob from a ghost. Right? That is not a kids' film. It became a kids'
I've
franchise
shown
over
that to my
time,
kids so many times.
right? Yeah, no, that's true, right? It became a kids' franchise over time, but that was when I was a kid, and there isn't really anything now for kids. I can't think of any kids nowadays who are screaming about, "Oh, I'm really into Ghostbusters," because there isn't anything. You've had a movie, and we're going to get another movie, but there's nothing else. So the core target audience for that game is people my age, as far as I can tell. And it was like the game did nothing that related to the originals to the point. And if you look, they've clearly understood that, and they were told they weren't allowed to use anything from the originals when they were making this game. I know this for a fact. So it's kind of like, why are you doing? So if you look at the update now, they're going, oh, you can get the jumpsuits from the originals now, and Slimer's coming in. And it's like, yeah, too little, too late. And
Yeah,
also,
too little, too late.
a jumpsuit, I don't care about cosmetics. I want a game. So they have added updates. They have added new game modes. The other thing that disappointed me with it was there's this edition that comes with all the extra DLC that we're not going to tell you what it is. And I'm like, if you think I'm giving you money without knowing what I'm paying for, you can get fucked. But again,
they weren't
it's
allowed to
more
include stuff from the originals.
because Sony told them they couldn't.
Fucking
But
Sony, man.
Indy's still eating chilies.
I think he's just
So-
eating for fun at this point.
So I
God.
get, but again, mechanically it works. Mechanically it's solid and that sort of thing, and it's got the sound effects, but on the whole, no. It's the only game on the Quest 3 I have refunded.
I didn't even buy it. I saw enough
No,
of it that
didn't
I
even
wasn't
bother.
even going to buy
Yeah.
it.
But that says a
Didn't
lot,
bother.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Didn't
does.
even bother.
That says
Massive
a lot that
fan.
a lot of
Massive
people were
fan
like,
of
no.
Ghostbusters, but I didn't. I just like. I was like, no, that game's not for me. That game was for parents and their kids to play in co-op. It wasn't targeted for
No.
VR people like us. No. Okay.
No.
Give me 2 seconds. I need to go to the toilet because I'm an old
All
man.
right.
Back in a second.
I'll
By toilet, he means
continue.
the back of his garden.
I'll continue talking rubbish then. But
But
no,
we had
that,
Indy's
that
worst game. No, we did. We didn't.
Yeah,
we had Nexus.
yeah, you did.
We had Nexus.
yeah. I mean, another. If we want to give some honourable mentions for like good games this year, I think the Light
Yeah.
Brigade.
Oh,
was
I
really good.
loved that game. I
thought
spent a lot of time.
I've sunk more time into that than a lot of other stuff. I think that's a really good roguelike shooter. That's something that I've put a lot of time into. Because I mean, what else did we have this year that people have enjoyed? I mean, what do you all think? What were your top and bottom games? Put them in the chat. Let's have a look. Let's see what you think.
Why is my stream down?
Sea Smash VR was very good.
Not played that, mate.
It's good, really, really good game. And the guy who makes it, you're fantastic chap. Really, really good fun. I Expect You to Die 3. Okay.
Guys, are you losing everyone and just me? Just
Earlier about
Yeah.
the mixed reality stuff coming in. That's been interesting. Seventh Guest.
on my list, not played.
Really good. Really good game.
My
So
whole
I
stream's
haven't-
down, by the way, but that's fine.
Well, sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So what have we got in chat? Someone's put top games ASGI. Vertigo. Do you know what? I've played Vertigo 1 and I've played Vertigo 2, and in my opinion, they're fine. But that's as far as I can say about them. They're like, yeah, they're all right.
Do you know I've not played either of them? Sacrilegious as that sounds.
They are good games. They are good games. They are worth playing. They are good games. But it's not something that I will like swing for the fences and say this is the most amazing thing ever. But I think they're both good games. But yeah, they're fine.
Okay. What have you got in 2024 then? What are you looking forward to in 2024?
Bulletstorm VR.
Oh yes, yes. I knew you were going to say that. I've downloaded the original flat screen. I'm going to play it before Bulletstorm releases. This is like Cliff Bleszinski, the guy who did Gears of War, and this is the game he did after he left the Gears of War people. And it was sweary and crazy, and I'm just want to see how it's going to work in VR.
It was over the top, insane violence, Duke Nukem-ish type humor, and it was that sort of thing.
Okay,
but yeah, that's
January
coming.
16th apparently.
Yeah, it's pretty early on. We've got Into the Radius 2 coming next year.
4-player
I'm
co-op.
intrigued by. I'm hoping they've done more than just add co-op. Trying to think
Looks
what
pretty
else we've
good.
got coming. No, I think it'd be really good.
All right, come on, people. We've lost the. There's no more donations. Come on, we like doing this for charity. Look at Indy's face. Look
You're
at
not
Indy's
doing it for
face.
charity. Fuck me.
Donate
I
to
am
Indy. Donate to Indy. Make him eat more stuff. Look at his face.
Oh, mate, I've got 2 hot
Great.
wings and a shot of Nando's hot sauce to go, and I'm up to date.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
I think-
happened. Like all of my
Attack
streams have
on-
gone fucking dead.
Attack on Titan VR is coming out next year, and I'm just interested in what the traversal mechanic will be like.
Okay, if you're a
Yeah.
fan of the anime, so
yeah.
I like the anime. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever. I think it's all right, but I really like the world building in that is quite interesting, and I think the way that they move around in that world with the omnidirectional things that they have, I think that could be a really interesting traversal mechanic in VR.
Yeah.
okay.
There's 2
Stranger
games.
Things got delayed.
Oh, yeah, fucking.
Again,
Anybody
Who
bothered?
cares?
no.
I watched the season in a bit, and that was enough for me.
No,
Days nostalgia wore
I'm
off
a
of the
big
pool.
Stranger Things fan,
Yeah.
so the game.
I think okay, so I they had a demo and it wasn't that good, but they've taken the demo down and they've been working on it. What I do want to be good is Blunt Force, that World War II game.
It's
And
not. It's never going to come out, mate.
never know.
I've been reporting on that for 2 years, almost
Yeah.
3 now, and I just don't think it's ever going to come out.
Well, that's a Blunt Force whack round the back of my fucking head, then, isn't it? Geronimo looks good. I mean, they're
Geronimo
just doing all
looks
the hype
amazing.
rounds, but
Phenomenal.
what it's
That's
going to be like, who
amazing.
knows? Yeah, but everything looks fucking amazing, and then yeah, I don't get
No,
excited.
but Geronimo is not trying to be anything that it isn't. It's just it. Like there's if you look at the Discord and go through like the devlogs, and each of their devlogs comes with pictures and video of them actually going through what's happening. Like none of it is like made for audience, non in engine shit. It's all
Keeps dropping out. Am I dropping out as well, chat? Or is it just? Is it
excites me
just
more
Shuri?
because the shit that they're doing is truly fucking phenomenal. It's like
we had
the
a-
way I
we had a
put it
glitch
was
there.
it's basically Onward. It's the updated Onward that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
What's that mech game that's coming?
Oh, Underdogs.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
That looks quite good.
That looks like it could be fun.
I mean, I can run through the list of games and just shout when you
Yeah.
get to interesting ones.
Go through
Go
it.
on then.
Go for it.
So we've got Attack on Titan VR.
No.
Yep.
No.
I'm
Just for the
interested.
traversal. Just for
Yeah,
the traversal. I'm really interested how that will feel and be in VR. Yeah.
I hope that it feels like Swarm, because that was really easy going. Like that
Okay.
was easy to play for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Gunman
Two's on-
Contract standalone.
Swamp 2
Yeah.
is on. Sorry. Swamp 2 is on Pico now.
Yeah, even though it's not meant. I don't think it comes out on Meta until March, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but Pico's got an exclusive. Who gives a fuck?
Not going
Nobody
to sell a
bought
fucking
Pico
headset. No one's going to buy that
You have
headset.
chosen
Thanks for the
the
subscribing,
wise.
whoever subscribed. I'm currently off my head on chilies. So, thank you.
We have Gunman Contract standalone.
Yep.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, that looks pretty sick. I'm
I
pretty
love
excited
it,
for
AMB
that.
Seth.
That's your John Wick simulator. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
happy
I-
days.
He is
I'm not-
pushing the Half-Life Alyx engine to the fucking max there. Looks incredible.
It's a
I'm not
different
into,
engine now, I think.
I'm not into those John Wick fucking movies, so I don't think I actually played Blood Contracts, whatever the fuck it's called. So
Why
I
are
can't
you
tell
friends with him, Mac?
I've got no idea.
We're not friends.
It's
we're
worth
lovers.
no
trying.
idea.
You should try it.
It's just
You
a-
should definitely
it's just-
play the mod.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
just.
hold
yeah.
on. Diego!
Diego!
Cheers,
Fuck's sake, Diego, I
Diego!
just caught up with his
Next
wing.
up, we have Wanderer Fragments of Fate, which is the remake of the Wanderer game. But obviously it's
good.
coming to Quest 3, and I am all about that. Like, if you've watched the Fragments of Fate trailer, then they've added a load of interactions that I really wanted, including like climbing and scaling and things. So I loved Wanderer. I thought it was a fantastic game with a fantastic story and great mechanics, and they've only added to that. So fingers crossed that comes out good for the Quest 3. Diego again. Okay, so one.
I've already done it.
Next, we have Core Disruption. Pretty unknown game. It's like a tank battle simulator.
Okay.
Could be
but
interesting.
Yeah, no, you play as like all three, like the gunner, the driver, and the mechanic.
Oh, okay.
Which one's
yeah,
that, mate?
there was
All
another
in
game
one.
that did that, wasn't there?
What was that?
Yeah.
So that looks interesting. That's only coming to PC VR though.
What was the name of that game?
Core Disruption.
Oh, so it's a different one. There is another one. I was thinking the one Buck was thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
I've played the other one. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's fine.
There's not enough players on there, is there?
Next, we have Crumbling, which looks like an interesting one. It's not like it doesn't look like it's going to be phenomenal, but it looks like something different, which is nice. By the way, guys, I've put up the stream. I don't know why it kicked me off fully, but yeah, it did. So there's another stream if you want to go and join that. If not, don't worry about it. So yeah, Crumbling is like you take these little toys out of the packet and then they're mounted to your controller, so it feels like when you were a kid and you had like a superhero and you're flying him through the air and being like, yeah, Superman's fucking flying through the air. Like, it's that kind of game.
Okay.
But... So I'm not sure it'll be any good, but it looks kind of fun. Happy Funland, which is like a horror.
That's already a flat screen game.
Is it already? Okay, I didn't realize that.
That's a flat screen game that's coming out. There's Behemoth, isn't there? Which is
Yes, there is.
We've seen
which is no
trailers
longer
for,
called-
but
it's no longer called Behemoth.
is not.
No,
Is
they've
it
had to
called
change it to specifically Skydance's Behemoth. I'm not sure
Oh,
why though.
fine.
All right, that'll be like a.
But
sort
again,
of-
we don't really know what it is.
No, because they've
So
had to
it's
push
like-
it back another year.
Hmm. We have Lo-Fi,
Islanders,
possibly.
Lo-Fi is still on my list of.
Possibly.
Oh my god, Lo-Fi has been on the list since 2020, mind.
Yeah,
Well, it takes a long time to make a game.
this is one that is interesting, but not because it's going to be good. It's going to be fucking straight up terrible. Is Sand in Hand? Have you heard of this game?
No.
No, there is a reason why you haven't heard of this game, and it's because it's a Pico 4 exclusive.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sounds like turd in hand.
Can we talk about Pico then?
We will do. Let's get through a few more games. I won't go through the whole list because there's a fucking lot of them.
Hmm.
But yeah, so Sand in Hand is literally. Do you know them videos of people making like sand pictures and drawing in their hands and shit through them to make
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's literally that in VR, but it's a Pico 4 exclusive. It's going to be fucking tragic.
You know,
Subspace Hunter.
someone will like it. Someone will really enjoy that because it'll be the same thing. Like, did any
Yeah,
of
but
you
it-
try like Tilt Brush and stuff like that?
Yeah, which I really enjoy. But you've
Yeah.
got to have the Venn diagram of the people who might like it with
Oh,
the
no,
people who have
I'm-
a Pico 4 headset,
I'm-
which is
I completely
basically no
agree.
one.
Yeah, I completely agree with that statement. But it's kind of like, you know, to say that no one's going to like it is not true. Because
No, that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
I'll skip to some of the more interesting ones. Titanic: A Space Between. Anyone heard of this?
What?
No.
So it's a
Between sinking and
sci-fi.
dying?
It's a sci-fi time travel game where you're going back to save something on the Titanic, but with horror elements. It looks kind of interesting.
Okay.
Toy Trains. I mean, it's literally what it says in the fucking tin. It's
Someone will
It's-
like it. That will 100% have a mixed reality mode.
yes,
100%.
Yeah. and don't get me wrong, if you like toy trains, I think you'll be quite interested in it. And but I have trauma when it comes to train sets from my childhood.
It's probably cheaper than buying an actual train set as well.
Yeah,
If you want
I'm
one of
going
the
to take
top end stuff.
Sorry, guys. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to wash my hands before I
A
go.
break.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. I just need to make sure I wash my hands before I go.
Yeah, you go. Here's yours,
Don't
buddy.
touch your eyes or anything else until
Yeah.
you've washed your hands.
Yeah, scratch my ass.
Next year, gloves, and then just take them off when you're done.
Voxis.
That's what OJ tried.
Anyone heard of Voxis?
Nope.
It's a voxel mechanic-based arena shooter.
Okay. So
where,
BattleBit.
yeah, it's kind of like BattleBit. There's lots of like trap bits that you can put down. It looks kind of interesting. Border bots. I'm not sure that like it's meant to be like the next vacation simulator or job simulator. It's made by the same people.
Alright.
Le Mans Ultimate might be getting a VR mode. That is also a possibility in March.
Any driving game, VR mode,
Middle of
I'm
a
in,
driving
generally.
game. Oh my god, I've lost it. Yeah.
Actually, we're getting the VR mode for World Rally Championship, aren't we, soon?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
coming
like
in. And
rally.
I'm like, oh, I love rally.
Fucking hate
I'm
it.
trying to look for other interesting ones on here. Into the Darkness. That's been on my list for over 18 months now.
That's not coming. That's been in my wish list on Steam for like
Everywhere.
6 years.
looks
That's
so
never
good.
happening.
It's got to
not.
happen.
It doesn't exist.
Oh,
Dips.
Actually, I'll tell you one game that it hasn't been confirmed that it will have VR, but I'd be very surprised if it didn't, which is Light No Fire, which is the next game
Yeah.
from the No Man's Sky people.
Yeah, no, if that
And
has
I'm like-
VR,
And I'm like, if that has VR, I'll be like, yeah, I'll give that a shot.
God, I am so sticky right now. Trying to look for other like interesting ones. There's lots of shit on here.
Sorry, Weeble has just said in the chat, no one's mentioned the Unreal Injector. Yes, we have. I spoke about it earlier at length.
Yeah,
but
we
never
spoke about
mind.
that at length.
It's a game
Into
changer.
the Radius
It's
2?
absolute game changer. Oh, 4-player co-op.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
What's that?
So
looks good.
excited. So
Into
excited
the
for
Radius
that.
2.
Yeah. I'm just intrigued what else they're going to do with it. What are they going to add to what they've already got? Because if it's just the same but with 4 people, do something new and interesting.
VRSO Bare Knuckle Fighting coming to PSVR 2.
Excellent.
It's
Okay.
a street fighting game.
Another boxing game.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's another boxing game, but is there any other boxing games already on PSVR 2?
Yeah, Creed and
Is Creed already on
what's the
there,
other
is
one?
it?
Yeah, that was on PSVR
Okay.
1. It got an upgrade for PSVR 2.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, my bad. We also have the possible untitled Aliens game from Servios.
Well, is that still a thing? Because I keep poking them and they don't say anything about it. But I
No, they
did see
don't.
someone go, "Yeah, it's still a thing." And Servius are a bit of a mixed bag with me because it's like some of the stuff they do. You bear in mind what Servius actually do in the States is they have VR arcades.
Yeah.
So they make games that are arcade games.
Yeah.
So as long as you know that's what you're getting, you'll be fine. But Servios' last game did not impress me at all. So yeah, because they did the other Walking Dead game, didn't they?
Oh, that.
Oh,
Yes,
God, that was
unfortunately.
terrible.
See,
was
everyone. I think the
terrible.
title I gave my stream was "Yawn of the Dead." So
Yeah, but and here's the thing: without the, I'm not certain if the Walking Dead game would have been as bad
if the other
as
one
if,
didn't exist,
if the other one didn't exist, which was just
Yeah.
straight up amazing.
I disagree with that. It was just a bad game, in my opinion.
I haven't played it, so I can't tell you.
Okay,
Like
I have.
that's on
It-
me, obviously.
It was a bad game.
it was bad.
It was a bad.
It's another
game.
one, like I said, we go through. There was no sense of threat
No,
at all,
no.
and
And
it's like there
you
should
had
be.
to shoot the zombies 3 times in the head to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like basic fundamental zombie lore that was like, no, that's not there. It's interesting. He said someone in chat, Diego has gone, they've also done Raw Data. Raw Data was actually one of my first ever PC VR games, and I have a lot of love for that. I think that's a really good game. But we've come a long way since Raw Data. And again, it's the same thing with the Firewall devs. It's like you need to catch up. You need to learn how things are working now. You can't rely, Firewall did so well the first time around because there was no competitors. Now you've got contractors, you've got Pavlov on PSVR 2. So unless you really up your game, you're not going to get the player base.
Oh, here's one that I want to discuss. Whether not any of you heard of it, but it's not because I think it's going to be amazing, but because of who's behind it. Is Brazen Blaze?
Oh, that nutcase! He's the developer. He's mad.
The nutcase says that are developers, yeah. But it's also got oh fuck me, biggest VR channel in the world right now.
Nathy?
No. Thrill Seeker.
Oh, good, yeah.
Thrill Seeker is like I think his company is like the big backer for it.
Oh, okay.
And he's heavily involved, but there are a lot of like nut jobs, and it's basically they're looking to try and put out what is essentially, God, my brain is not fucking working. Overwatch. They're trying to make Overwatch in VR.
Yeah. Well, someone already tried to do that, didn't they? And it was called
they did with Larcenauts, and we know how that turned out, don't we, Mac?
I actually liked Larcenauts. I thought Larcenauts had promise, but I think they put it out in the wrong time. It's same with like Space Junkies. Space Junkies had a lot of promise, but they ballsed up the release.
No, Larcenauts was a great game released at the wrong time, and it was just like it was janky, and it
but this is the problem. Every single multiplayer PvP VR game, unless you can get and hold that core audience, you're going to be really busy for 2 weeks and then no one's going to play it. Exactly. And it's the same with all of them. It's the same with all of them. Unless you are your Pavlov or your contractors or your onwards and you've got that hardcore dedicated base, it's not going to happen. And the problem is trying to build that hardcore dedicated base takes time, and it takes money and effort and energy, and you have to really listen to the community to build what they want.
Or you let the community run it for you, like contractors did, and they made an absolute fucking killing out of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You need to listen to that, and then they'll go and do it. Pavlov is only as big as it is because of the mod community.
Yeah, and now that they've added
built all of
the
that
mods properly to downloadable since they did their full release the other month, that's made a huge difference. There are 2 more games that I want to talk about that are coming next year before we move on. One is Arcane Age. Have you heard of this one?
Yep.
Oh.
So Arcane Age it looks really interesting because it is both a shooter and a melee combat game, RPG, but all of the melee is done with full physics engine similar to Blade and Sorcery. Like that level of physics combat. So this is either going to go really, really well or really fucking badly.
See, I have a thing about this. It's like I don't necessarily want realism from my games, but I want them to feel real, and those are 2 very different things. So, for example, Gunman Contracts, if I tried to go and be John Wick in real life, it's going to end very badly for me because I can't physically do that. But if the game can make me feel like I can do that, then I'm in. So where everyone says, oh, it has to be absolute real, like for example, Boneworks. You got a full body and all of that, right? I hate Boneworks. I think it's a janky fucking mess. But I know other people think it's amazing because they're like, oh, I can't do this because my legs are in the way. And it's like, yeah, but in the real world, my legs would not be in the fucking way because I'd move them out the fucking way when I'm doing this. My elbows wouldn't be in the way because I would move my elbows out of the way when I'm doing it. So, I think what they've done...
as coordinated as you, Buck.
No, but you get my point. It's
I do.
I think Boneworks on a technical level is a very impressive achievement of what they've been able to done, but it is a technical demo rather than a fun game, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like that was the whole point of it, though, wasn't it? It was like the devs were like, here you go, community, take over from us now. And the community took over for about 2 weeks, and then they gave up.
I
And
don't want
that's
realism. I want the feeling of it. That's the thing. And those are two very different and specific things.
The last game I want to talk about is Contractor Showdown, which is coming out, which is I think it's going to be a community divider on whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. For me, it is Warzone in VR, the closest we have so far, and I think that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm wondering if it's going to split the contractors' current community, because some people will want that style of game and others won't. So I'm wondering if they can keep both of them going if they split the community.
So, coming as somebody that spent their entire summer playing Modern Warfare 2 and and consequently Warzone, I played both. You know, I was playing both the battle royale, and then when I wasn't playing the battle royale, I was playing the multiplayer shooter.
But those are flat screen games and not VR games, and I think that's a very important distinction here. Because
why so in this particular instance, though?
Because it's physical. And I think, are you going to put all of your time and effort into one game being physical with that sort of thing? Because that's generally how those are done. You will find that the majority of Onward players do not play Pavlov, and vice versa. So, are the majority of current contractor players going to stay playing contractors, or are they going to jump ship to this other one because they prefer that game mode? So
they're going to stay with contractors, the majority. That would be my guess.
Again, we don't know at the moment. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because it's like, is this going to be... But the thing is, if enough go to do that, they'll probably play that more than they'll play contractor, which means contractors will just die. Even though it might have still enough people playing it, but they have to go, oh no, this is the one that's actually popular, so we're going to focus on this.
Yeah, but the thing is, at this point, contractors as a game in its entirety, like the devs bring out like periodic updates and they'll add seasonal things, but for the most part, where it's at is the community made mods.
The only thing with the Warzone thing, it's kind of like the only competitor we've got for Ghosts of Tabor, I would say. Those
yes
two
and
are
no.
fairly
We
similar.
also have another game
closest
coming
to
out
each
next
other.
year. Yes, but we also have another game coming out next year called Gravity Royale, which is essentially a what's the other game? Apex Legends. It's kind of like the Apex Legends to Warzone.
That's not really the same style as those things. Again, they are battle royale.
I'm talking about
stuff.
like battle royale games. So we're going to have Pop 1, we're going to have Contractor Showdown, and we're going to have Gravity Royale. I think is going to be the three.
Is it too many? Do you
Mac,
think
your
we can
stream's
split it
Sorry,
across
guys.
that many people?
I think because Population 1 is now free, it will make it very, very difficult to split. With three of them, I think if this is what I said in my my roundup as well, is if Gravity Royale is free with in-game purchases, I think that it might be able to do something. I think that Contractors, because Contractors is now a household VR name, I think that might be able to do something, mixed with the fact that it's almost identical to Warzone. Mac has just disappeared, which makes my stream look shit.
Mac's stream ended and he's just fucked off.
Yeah, he sort of laid back and it looked like he went to sleep.
I think he'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, he'll be back in a minute. But yeah, so I think because Population 1 is free and it has an established player base, that will carry on. I think that Contractors Showdown will probably make waves because it is essentially a Warzone in VR simulator. Gravity Royale, I'm not sure if there's room for it.
All right, that's fair enough. No, I'm intrigued because it's kind of we're not at the point that we're the same as flat screen games within VR, but it's like there are multiple battle royales in flat screen, but you only really hear of like two that people are playing. There's like Apex Legends and Warzone, and that's pretty much it. Because PUBG, even though it was the first one, you don't really hear much about it. You have stuff like DayZ, which is our equivalent to Ghosts of Tabor. It's not quite the same, but it's as close as I can think, really. And that sort of thing. It's like I like Ghosts of Tabor. I think it's a really good idea. It's not something that I will constantly play. But it's it's fine. I think they've done a really good job with it, and what they built is really interesting. And I quite enjoy watching other people play it. But I'm not sure it's something that I would always hop in and play all the time.
I think Mac's internet's gone down because his stream's gone down as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
he's-
would make sense, but that would explain why his camera was going a bit fuzzy.
Yeah. But either way, we'll see what happens. What was Mac wanting to talk about? Do you remember before we finished off the sort of next year's games scenario?
I don't know. This is why I asked at the beginning if there was a list.
we sent you the bloody list. You didn't get it.
Assuming that, yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
off.
we've got a fucking
Fuck's
list.
sake, we're gonna have to fire our secretary. Fucking hell, use this.
Fucking
Yeah,
lie to
unfortunately,
me.
Mac's the secretary.
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of the stuff that's coming. I think there's going to be some interesting stuff. I think Asgard's Wrath is a good. We can build big games, as in length and that sort of thing. Whether people want that or not is it because it's like, again, I'm quite happy for like a couple of hours, and that's enough for me on VR for that day. I don't need to be in a headset for 6 hours at a time. And I know other people do, and cool, good for you. But I'm quite happy to hop it. It's like one of the games this year as well that none of us have actually mentioned that I actually think is one of the best games that got released this year was Ghost Signal.
Didn't play
never
it.
played it,
It got
you know?
mixed reviews from a lot of people, didn't it?
I absolutely adore that game. It's a really, really good roguelike.
Oh,
That if you've ever played, there's a flat screen game called FTL,
Yep.
Faster Than Light. If you've ever played that, it's that in VR.
sweet.
It's a good way of explaining it, really, as well.
And
I've
Slow
also-
Coach has just reminded me what Mac wanted to talk about was Pico's roadmap.
Oh yeah, he was saying about Pico. So, first of all, what the fuck's been going on with their Twitter account?
Oh,
'cause
what's
I'm
from happening
like-
with the Twitter account?
What? Well, they've been putting out these horrible, how to be a arsehole in VR sort of thing, and it was like
Oh,
if you've
yeah,
got motion
they're,
sickness, if you're getting motion sick, just push through, and it was like that is the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
It was like that, they were offering like really bad, and one of them was like, "Oh, keep shooting your girlfriend until she throws you out."
Yeah, that
And you're
video,
like-
man, was just
and you're like,
so...
What the hell
Bad.
is going on?
Like,
They-
it was like they'd basically said, oh, we haven't got enough money to make a marketing thing push for the for Black
It felt
Friday.
like it was all written by AI. It felt like they'd gone into Chat GPT and
Yeah.
gone, "Give me a VR commercial that makes me look like I'm a cunt." And that's exactly what they got. Because I was looking at it and going, it's like, I know they laid a load of people off at Pico, and I was like, clearly the marketing team is one of the ones that got laid off because this is not how you
It's
sell a
worse
headset.
than that, mate.
Well,
It's
yeah.
the entire Europe gaming division, bar one got laid off. overnight.
Which is shocking. But then again, the entire games industry this year has had this. You can't throw something out your window without hitting someone who's been fired out of a game studio. You look at all the game studios across the world; they've all been having massive layoffs everywhere. It's horrible. And then you have the Game Awards that came up, and they don't even mention that. And it's like it's all great, and it's like no, thousands of people have lost their jobs, and it's crazy. It's really because again, it's like no one gets into VR to make money because you're not going to. It's not there yet. You're not going to make millions.
So this is the thing that Weeble was talking about, like that he's
Yeah, I
just
just read his
mentioned as
comment,
well.
yeah.
It's like the motion trackers. So we went down to Pico, and they showed us a bunch of cool shit, right?
Mhm.
And one of them was their motion trackers, which was like their leg trackers.
Yeah.
It was, nice, cool little thing. They'd made it like we specifically, when they were designing them, were like, these need to be affordable. They can't be £100. They have to be like 20, 30 quid. And they were
It's
like,
not gonna
cool.
happen.
No, that's what they did. They made them reasonable.
They sent
I
in the
think it
surplus
was like
stock.
50 quid or something. But
Each.
like for a pair.
Okay, that's interesting.
Which I thought was reasonable, and the game they designed for it which was what was the game called? Weeble just mentioned it. Blitz Rhythm, which was meant to be their proprietary.
Didn't we
Beat
see that
Saber.
at EGX when they were showing that off at EGX, weren't they?
Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
meant to be their Beat Saber rival for the platform, and they just shut it all down. Like years of development.
Yeah, but that happens all the time. The amount of stuff that goes through studios that you don't even see,
Yeah.
is insane. It's nuts. It's It's like years of development go through stuff, and then it just goes. This is my cat, by the way, in case you're wondering.
I thought it was one of those cock socks.
No. She's come for fuss because I've been sitting here for a while and she needs attention.
But we've got the Pico 5 that has just been like a lot of people are saying now is obviously dead in the water.
They're saying
I know you guys.
They're going against.
Sorry,
they're saying they're going against the Apple Pro instead, right? Vision Pro.
Why?
I think someone who's running Pico is on crack. They're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
So I understand what Apple are trying to do with the Vision Pro, right? They're going to not ever use the term VR, AR, or MR. They're going to use their term spatial computing, and they're going to make it a premium device. And they know that's what it is. They're not expecting the average layman to go and pick one up, because you won't be able to, because it will cost you, ridiculous amounts. I think it will do what they want it to do exceptionally well. And one thing that gave me that was something I saw this weekend. So I met up with a load of other VR people on Saturday.
Yeah, I was gutted I couldn't make it, man.
It was a good time. It was nice. And one of the things that one of the guys there, John Hibbins from SciTech Games, he had his brand new iPhone with him, and he filmed all of us, just quickly, using the spatial recording thing, and then he exported that on his phone to a 3D video, right? And then I had my X-Real glasses with me, which are those glasses you put on that have screens inside the lens. It's really good. Plugged that into his phone, and we just watched a 3D footage of that straight away. And it was like, okay, that's quite impressive. And it was that quick. That was the thing. So I was like, okay, now I see where Apple are going with this. Personally, I have no interest in it at all. I'm not an Apple person. I don't own any Apple devices. It's like, but I can understand what they're trying to do and why they're trying to do it. It's a top-end premium device. It is not designed for the average user at all. But I don't think Pico are big or have enough prestige behind them to compete with that.
I think,
because to be fair, I don't think Pico can compete with Meta at the minute. No. I don't think they're doing a good job.
No, they're not doing a good job at all.
What can compete with Meta is TikTok. Why don't they use TikTok's oomph, to push their headsets?
I'm old and boring and therefore don't do the TikTok thing.
No, but you obviously get that TikTok is a huge fucking thing.
I understand what it is, but I also think it's the same. I view the TikTok thing in the same way as I view YouTube Shorts. They're fun, and they just sat people's time away and don't really do anything.
Yeah, but
and I think
that's all that apparently is needed for it to work.
And I don't disagree with that, and I think it's horrible. I think it's really bad. I'll give an example. The sort of stuff that I watch on YouTube. This month, I watched a 3.5-hour video YouTube about plagiarism that a guy called H Bomber Guy does. There's a guy called H Bomber Guy who releases videos. He does like 1 or 2 a year, but each one is like, and it's really interesting, and he really does his journalist stuff, and he really gets into stuff, and it's fascinating. And I find it fascinating. It's really interesting. It's like he did one, and what he does, he starts on one little thing, and then the video becomes something else that you didn't see coming, and it goes into really interesting places. Like he did one where he heard the oof sound from Roblox, and was like, I wonder where that comes from. And then it opened up this whole thing about this guy who does video game music and has basically been lying to everyone for years about stuff. And it was like, my God, this is incredible, the stuff that he's found. But now, I'll watch stuff like that. I don't mind, And don't get me wrong, I'll watch like a good 20-minute video and stuff like that as well. But Shorts and TikTok is just kind of like soul destroying for me. You could lose, and I've done it myself. You can just sit there and you just doom scroll into the next fucking dopamine.
I don't even
hit.
have it installed on my phone.
I don't. But YouTube now has shorts, and it's like, oh,
I don't go in there either. Just avoid it.
The thing is I've got I use TikTok, right? Both
Mhm.
for content creation, for streaming, and for just doom scrolling, right? And I actually set aside a bit of time about I don't know about 6 weeks ago, where I was at work for 3 days in a row.
Yep.
And I said, right, today is TikTok day, tomorrow is YouTube day, and the next day is Instagram day, right? Because I wanted to see what the algorithms were, how they would keep me going, right?
Sure.
And just see how much enjoyment or at least dopamine hits I could get from doing 1, 2, and 3. And TikTok has got it fucking made, man. Like TikTok fucking smashed me in the face over and over and over. I
Evil.
was sucking the TikTok teat the entire time. And the next day it was just like, right, okay, today is Shorts day. And I was trying to get that dopamine hit off of Shorts, and Shorts was just like, oh, try this. And you're like, yeah, this is shit. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we don't know. So have the same thing again, over and over and over. And then the next day was like Instagram, Facebook day. And I was just like, fuck me. They have no idea. They have no idea how to run this type of system.
You could say it's the same with like streaming on YouTube versus Twitch, because Twitch has got streaming sold up much better than YouTube has, much better, because of the interaction you can have with your audience and the way that it works. And it's not built. YouTube is not built in the same way Twitch is in order to be able to have that.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
And and I stream on YouTube, so what do I fucking know? But
What do you know, you YouTube streamer?
No, it's fair enough. But
No,
I picked it for a certain reason, because I knew that's what I wanted and where it was, and I had my reasons at the time, and that sort of thing. But it's different platforms have different ways of doing stuff, and they're all going to excel in one thing individually. From my point of view, I know what TikTok is and what it does and why it does it. I don't like it, but I can understand how powerful a tool it is for someone to use, and I can understand how quickly you can get stuff out there and be seen and found. I mean, I see other content creators who are doing it, and you see their TikTok numbers are like massive compared to their YouTube numbers, compared to their Twitch numbers, and it's like, yeah, because it's a 2-minute thing. It's 60 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, just look at my followers on TikTok. I've got 56,000 followers on TikTok. I've got just under
10% of that
on. Yeah, I've got 10% of that on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah.
But I was speaking to a TikTok specific streamer the other day, or the other week, sorry.
Okay.
Because I spoke to.
So is that streaming to the phone app?
Yes.
So if you want to watch it, you're watching it on your phone app.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not doing it.
Do you know what? Right. He turned around and he said to me, because he was doing exactly what we do, right? Me, Mac, Indy, and you. We, VR streamers, and he moved out of that, and admittedly he moved into other games, and it's mainly flat screen stuff. But he said to me, he goes, dude, why aren't you on TikTok more? And I was just like, honestly, like I think the actual material there isn't as good as everywhere else, like especially YouTube. And he was like, no, fuck TikToks, fuck YouTube Shorts, fuck YouTube videos, just streaming. And I was like, okay, well, why? And he said, TikTok is streaming on easy mode. It is.
Yeah.
He reckons that like he himself, he's pretty self-deprecating. I'm not gonna say who it is. He's a nice guy though. But he was just like, I'm not the best streamer by a long shot. But what's your best viewership you've ever had on a stream? And I was like, 112 people. And that was on Twitch. That I had 112 people watching me. And he was like, my minimum for 9 a.m. on a weekday now is 1,100 people.
You know why, don't you? It's because it's on your phone.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
everyone has a phone, and
Exactly.
yes, you can have YouTube on your phone. Yes, you can have Twitch on your phone, but generally, people don't watch those platforms on their phone
It
because
turns out
those
doing
platforms were
this,
not originally built around that phone. They were built around on the PC,
yeah,
sitting in front of a
but
screen.
literally doing this is too much for people.
Yeah.
Right. If your best stream is only getting 10% of the worst stream of your average TikTok streamer, that's
Yeah.
insane. Like
Yeah.
Fitz will agree with me. Fitz has been doing pretty well on TikTok Live.
But I would be very interested to know what the demographic of your audience is.
So when I was streaming on there, my demographic was 14 to 34.
Yeah, it's kids.
But
And I bet if you
they're the
split
people
that
with the
down,
time.
if you no, if you and I completely agree with that. That is not my audience, or not who I want my audience to be.
I still
Because
don't know who I
that's
want my audience to be
not
at this
what
point.
I do. Do you know what I want? I want people like me. I want people around my age who enjoy the same sort of things that I do, and away you go, and that's it. Because I have nothing in common, and I can't relate to the kids of today, because I'm not a kid of today. So I can't relate. So whatever I would do, or what I would want to do and stream, is not something that they would watch, because it's not something that they could relate to. Or at least that's how it feels for me.
Who do you want as your audience, Indy?
Well, don't know, man. Just more of my audience is mature-ish, like 30-ish, I'd say. I can check my
don't
stats.
say that. You'll upset Classy.
Why?
She's obviously 21.
She's 12. Switch the numbers around. I can check my stats actually, but yeah. I don't want it. See, kids are good because they will watch your stuff and subscribe and stuff like that. But
yeah, but they won't watch long form stuff.
Yeah,
they'll just watch the 5-second clip of haha, here's a funny noise, shot someone next. Because there's no attention spans anymore.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like everyone's attention span's gone to shit. Like seriously. Sorry,
and since that TikTok have made they've made changes this year so that like only I think as of this month, only their 1 minute plus videos actually monetize. Which, like, if I look at my stats for TikTok, trying to get anyone to watch more than 25 seconds is next to fucking impossible.
Yeah.
There you go. Again, it's the bang, bang, bang. It's the machine gun. It's the scattergun method of stuff. Fire enough shit at the wall, something will stick. Oh, yeah, just watch that.
That'll be me tomorrow morning.
And I'm like...
Sorry.
That'll be you in 3 hours, mate. But I imagine you're going to get woken up with it.
Fucking hell.
But again, I get it, and I understand why it works and that sort of thing. It's not for me. But it's not built for me.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that, I'll just say it in my chat. It's like, it knows what you're thinking before you think it, so it knows what to put. And it's just like, I don't want anybody knowing that much information about me. Whatever.
Those days are over.
Yeah, but it's not as bad because TikTok really, because Shui said it grips you. So they've got a really good algorithm on how to profile people. And I don't like that. I'll just stay away from it.
Hang on, give me a sec. I'm just going to phone Mac and just see if he's alive
see if he's all right.
I'm
trying to think of other stuff this year that we played. It's like this year, we did have 2 significant headsets released. We had the PSVR 2 released in February, and we had, the Quest 3 release, and the Quest 3 has changed the game in some aspect. The Quest 3 has retired my index, which I didn't think it would do.
You and the last time you were on the podcast, you were talking about that. So I'm selling my index. I put it on eBay on the weekend.
I saw.
It's not because of the Quest 3. It's because I've got the 2 headsets and they both do the same thing, and obviously the whole thing. But there's not a lot of PCVR stuff that I'm seeing. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, I've got two PCVR headsets.
Okay, Mac in VR is dead. He's not picking up.
Okay,
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
drunk.
He's probably passed out between the Mac cave and the
Probably
back door.
doing the technically yodel into the porcelain bin. That's what he's doing.
Nah,
So-
his dog will drag him somewhere. He'll be fine.
Yeah, no, and I get that, but it's
yeah.
kind of the visual level of the Quest 3 is far superior
Yeah.
to the Index.
Yeah.
Definitely. The audio solution, not as much,
Yeah.
but the audio solution on the Quest 3 is much better than I thought it would be.
It is better than the Quest 2, definitely.
Much better. To the point that I have to turn it down. The Quest 2, I had to turn all the way up. This one, you don't have to have it on full volume. It's fine. The mic is still garbage on the Quest 3. The mic is dreadful.
Yeah.
And also when you now consider we have the official Steam Link app on the Quest 3, that's a big deal. And I think that's a much bigger deal than people realize, that Valve have actually gone, okay, we've looked at our stats and we've seen that the Quest 2 is the most used headset on our platform. Why don't we make it easier for people to do that? Yeah.
We were discussing this the other week, and I don't think that's exactly why they've done it.
So why do you think they've done it?
I think they've done it because it's in their best interest, getting ahead of the game with wireless streaming stats, because obviously they've got Decard coming out at some point soon.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the code, I mean, if you watch Sadly It's Bradley stuff, you can see that there is stuff about the Decard being wireless and that sort of thing. So yeah, of course you're gonna do that. I mean, that's essentially what Valve is. They're not a games company; they're a data company. They sell games, which is what pays for everything. And what they've done is they've created an incredibly good storefront that everyone uses because it's simple and it works, right? That's why people use Steam, because it works and it's not difficult to use. But the amount of data that they get from that is what they use to move on with the next stuff. So, Tesla's the same. Tesla is not a car company. Tesla is a data company. All the data it gets out of all of the people that drive its cars is what drives it forward. It's not a car company. It's a data company. And that's exactly what Valve do. It's like Valve don't release games. When was the last time we got Valve to release a game? Oh, it was Half-Life Alyx. That was a long while ago. We had anything since? Not really.
Yeah.
No,
Gunpowder.
no, it's true. Like we've been after them and pestering them and prodding them with sticks to release episode 3 for over a decade.
I guarantee you they had episode 3 and they threw it away and they started again, and we might get one. But that's what they do, is they build stuff in their own little individual teams and they do what they want. And if they think it's good enough, they throw it out. And if they don't, they'll just throw it away and start again. They don't need to sell a game because they're selling everyone else's.
Yeah, I think
that's where the money comes from.
Yeah. Again, it's all the most valuable thing in the world at the moment is data.
Yeah.
So, and they're the kings of. They're doing pretty well because every person that goes in there and buys a fucking game, they start as soon as you create an account. That's it. They're starting to get gathering data on you, and they know what to suggest. And
the most genius thing that Valve have done is the trading cards.
Yeah.
I don't care about cosmetics and all that sort of stuff and trading cards and that, but I can play a game and get a couple of trading cards, which are essentially just a couple of pictures, and I can sell those for real money because some idiot will go and buy them.
Yeah.
It is the most, and then Valve takes a cut of that, and all they've done is created pictures. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the most ludicrous system in the world, and whoever designed it should be given some sort of medal.
NFTs.
It's the same with, it's not NFTs.
No, I know it's not NFTs.
It's not the same. It's not the same because it doesn't have all that other bullshit behind it that NFTs do. But it's the same with Team Fortress. Team Fortress is an online hat shop. It's not a shooter. It's an online hat shop. You can go and buy another hat and make your character look good. It's
Mate,
he's saying it's NFTs before NFTs, kind of, but it doesn't have all the NFT bullshit where they're like, this is worth $1,000. No, it's a picture of an ape that a 4-year-old drew.
Yeah.
Well, it's not worth that, but anything is worth what anyone else will pay for it. And if you're stupid enough to give someone $10,000 for a picture of an ape, then good luck to you. It's just the way it is. It's crazy. But people fall for it again and again and again. And it happens across the board on everything.
Is there anything else particular VR related we want to talk about, or are we at the end of the podcast?
I think we're.
Indy needs to go and shit. I need to go and vomit.
I don't need to shit. I'm fine. I'm actually surprisingly fine. My mouth was on fire earlier, but my stomach's normal for now.
There were points where you genuinely looked stoned, mate. You looked high as fuck.
You weren't looking well at all.
I pulled a whitey, a proper whitey.
Like that.
Yeah. No, I just want to say.
What about the MR stuff? We haven't really talked about any of the mixed reality stuff.
Actually. The mixed reality stuff.
That all came out with the Quest 3. That was the first time we got those sort of things.
So you've played the cabin, right? The cabin mixed reality.
I've played quite a few mixed reality titles, and it got me excited again. The mixed reality stuff is what got me more excited about stuff than anything else recently, because again, it was something new. It was a new sort of technology that we've not used before, and this is the first iteration of it. Yeah. So it's kind of like what we're getting now is, almost alphas. It's going to be, so my thing is now, okay, this is what people are doing with it now. Give it a year or two, people are going to come up with some really, really interesting stuff of what they can do. And like I say, it reignited my, like I said, I've only really made 2 proper things this year where I did Synapse, and then I went and did my cabin video, where I actually went and made a video for a change instead of streaming. And thank you, Diego. I did see that in the chat. I think the first thing that you do with the first encounters, I thought that was a really good introduction to MR.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really simple, anyone can understand it the minute it happens. It's not taxing, it's not threatening, it's nice and simple, shows you how it works. And I honestly, the first time I did it, and the thing burst through my ceiling, and I literally went, holy shit, like going, wow, and again, the thing the Quest 3 has done for me is it's so much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it would be as good as it is.
So that first encounters stuff, I played it first, and I did my studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yeah, this is pretty cool. My studio is pretty fucking small, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I'm going to go do the fucking whole house. And I went round. I spent nearly 25 minutes scanning the entire house, right? And building this fucking map all the way around so that I could literally shoot the little alien bastards while I was walking upstairs. And I went into my bathroom and one dropped into my toilet, and I came back out and I went into my bedroom and there was bastards on my bed, and I started shooting the things in between the walls. And for a simple alpha, it was so fucking good, man.
It's the same with the cabin one. So have you both played the cabin?
I played the cabin, but I haven't played the mixed reality.
Okay, so the thing that got me about that was you set your room up and you go, that's a door, that's a window, that's a door, blah, 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 blah. And then they are boarded up, and through those windows you can see the cabin world outside. And it's pretty clever. But what caught me with it more than anything else, you can see just behind me over here, that's my couch, right? At the end of that couch is a window, and a zombie smashed through my window, fell onto my couch, rolled off onto the floor, and then stood up.
That's
and I was like,
cool.
Oh, at that point, I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking clever. But then what it did for me was like, well, hang on a minute. I can take this wherever I want. That's what gave me the inspiration to go to that ruin and set that up as part of the cabin. And I think that's where it's more interesting, that we can go and do these things somewhere else. You can take it around places and do different things. And because it's mixed, you're still aware of your surroundings. I think it's a really good, let's say, starter drug for VR, because it's not as isolating as VR can be. You put a headset on, you don't see anything else. You're not aware of the outside world. Whereas this is layering something on top of that you already know and see. So it's not going to be as isolating as it is in VR. So I think there's going to be some really interesting things. The fact that it worked in daylight, I was very surprised at. Wasn't expecting that. Indie's speakers are picking me up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I played.
But
Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah, go on.
No. Finish what you're saying. Man.
No, so I've played that. I've played Broken Edge. I've played Synth Riders, Smash Drums. Basically, if there was anything that had mixed reality, I was like, give it to me, and reached out. And I think a lot of them, after they saw the video that I did for the cabin, a lot of them was like, "Hi, do you want to have a look at this and see what you can do with that?" So I got a lot of them. Some of them I was like, "Yeah, really cool," and some of them was like, "Yeah, we'll see." But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where that's going to go. And I'm looking forward to the time when you can get like 20 of you in a headset in a field running around doing some sort of mixed reality thing all together.
Do you remember at EGX 2022 they had, because they have that mixed reality like shooting game, don't they, in the arena, and they had it set up along one wall, and it's basically it's a proper like esport.
Yes,
you remember
yes,
what
I do know the one. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Quest
so if we
3
could
is
do
the next
that,
step towards that, right?
Yeah, it was basically dodgeball with bullets and shields.
Yeah,
where you could throw fireballs at someone and the other team could see the fireball and block it with a shield and stuff. And it's like, if we can do that, it's like a whole wealth of actual physical esports could come across from that. I think that could be really interesting.
Because I mean, at this point, the Quest 3 is getting close, not there, but close to the point where like
that's my
VR
point.
arenas don't need to exist, right? Like
that's my point. It's like, this is the first iteration, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you were able to, like, go into a field with a load of friends and you can go, right, here's the field, and the game just dumps whatever it needs to in there. Like, you've got a paintball arena or something, but you can still sit your real world around that. It's just going to make it, a lot easier for people to do.
What Classy Baddie just said, I would totally LARP in a field with a headset. Yeah, that would be phenomenal. Like Dungeons of Eternity with mixed reality in a giant field would be phenomenal.
Imagine playing like Pokemon Go, but with a headset, where you can actually see the Pokemon and you're throwing the Pokeball at it to pick it up and doing that. Or something like you're playing, say, Yu-Gi-Oh card games, and when you put the card down, the monster appears in front of you in the field and that sort of thing. No, it could be really good fun.
You've just given me an idea for a video, actually,
to
see whether or not I can actually get Pokemon Go working on the headset properly.
What were you going to say, Indy? Sorry.
I was just saying that I did mixed reality when I first got the headset. I did the games you mentioned. Basically, I thought it was really cool, but I haven't been back in. Basically, that's all I was going to say. Just be good, like you said, in the future to see the help, where it goes to. But it was cool.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a gimmick. It's like, yeah, but everyone said that about VR to begin with. Everything's a gimmick when it starts. Television was a gimmick when it started. All these things have got room to grow. I think mixed reality has more of a chance of becoming mainstream than VR does.
Yeah, 100%. Diego, what you were just saying about spatial augments, it's going to be similar to Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Where like his apartment is complete trash. Like, it is brown and beige and horrible and like stained and disgusting. But because he's got that holographic like imprinter that changes his whole apartment into what he wants, plus it gives him the AI girl that goes around and whatnot.
You can see that now. If you look on Twitter now, people have done videos where they turn like their entire room as if it's in a giant aquarium outside. They put big walls up and you can see like sharks swimming by and stuff and that sort of thing. You can do all of that now, but the problem is you have to put a headset on to do it.
Yeah, I was speaking to somebody at the
always
HTC.
The biggest thing with VR.
I was speaking to someone at the HTC party the other day, and like majority of people that were there, they were not VR people at all. They were just influencers of different descriptions.
Yep.
I was probably one of 2 VR people there.
I
It was
saw some of your
me-
pictures and I was like, I don't know who any of those people are.
No, so it was me and Henry from Upload VR.
Right.
We're the only like VR
They
people there.
again, yeah, they were the only 2 people I recognised.
Yeah,
Because I know
exactly.
Henry. Yeah.
But the rest of them were, for the most part, influencers either for the metaverse, or different bits and bobs to do with like electronic reviews and stuff like that, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I was saying to one of the guys, they were just like, "Yeah, I just don't want to put on a headset in order to do this stuff." And I was like, "Yeah." And once they get down to glasses size, that's
Once it
when
becomes as simple as this, is when it will become mainstream.
Yeah.
And that's going to take forever. I'm not even sure we'll see it in our lifetime. To be fair,
I think we will, unless they
Well,
decide.
I'm a bit
go
older than
completely
you.
different.
So.
Hang on, how old
Why
are
do
you,
you think he
Buck?
dyes his hair?
Me, I'm 46.
You're not that
Still a
much older than
baby.
me.
Feel
You're
it.
only a decade older than me.
Yeah, only.
Only 1/10 of a century older.
That's the way to look at it.
Ow.
Right, and the other thing you got to bear in mind is that Mac's another decade on you, mate.
No, I completely agree, and but I honestly think to get to that level, I think it's very rare. I would say even after the Unreal Air, so I have a pair. I do actually have a pair of the Unreal Air 2s. I managed to, after BGX last year, we got invited to go to the Unreal bus, and they showed it off. And as we left the bus, they all gave us a pair of the glasses, and they're fine. The glasses are fine. They work. It's a nice 10 bit. It's a very clear screen. It's really nice. They're comfortable. I would use them if I still worked in Formula One and I was traveling all the time. I'd use them all the time because I'd stick them in, on the plane or on the train or wherever I was, and I'd just sit there and watch film on them. And yeah, they're brilliant for that. They're really, really good. To work with it,
refused
not
to
so
send
much.
me a pair. I was really gutted because the amount of train journeys I've done this year down to TikTok things and London things, and they would have been fucking perfect.
Yeah.
But I at this point, I
The
still
other
can't bring
thing-
myself to go and buy them.
The other thing with them is they are far less intrusive than putting on a VR headset to watch a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would much rather just put them on because they look like glasses. They don't look out of the way. If I'm sitting on a plane and I put a VR headset, it's pretty fucking obvious what's going on and that sort of thing. And and people do look at you a bit weird. With those things though, they're very discreet. You don't really know. So yeah, it helps. But the use case is very small. Whereas the use case for a VR headset can be much wider.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing
agree-
with
I
the
agree.
Apple thing. I think the use case for that is very small, but I think it's a lot wider if you're an Apple person. So if you already have a MacBook, if you already have an iPhone, if you're already in that wheelhouse, if you've got
Ecosystem,
all your
yeah.
Apple TV stuff, then I can understand why it would be. It's like another thing. It's like we've got the Xbox gaming app for the Quest
yeah.
now, haven't we? So you can stream from the cloud because it's not from your Xbox, is it? It's from the cloud that you stream games to play. And I'm like, I can understand how in a household, if dad wants to play the games but the kid wants to watch the TV and they're all in the lounge, I can see how that would work. And it's like, but for me, I live on my own, so I've got a nice TV. If I want to play games on my TV, I'll play games on my TV. But I can understand why people will want to use it, and that sort of thing. But again, I'm not the target audience for that. I get that.
At this point, you can buy a Quest 2, which in their holiday sale is like what, $250. You can even buy one secondhand. I was looking the other day for a friend of mine for his kid for Christmas. You can pick one up for £100 off of Facebook Marketplace, and you've essentially got an Xbox console built in.
Well, you have an
fantastic.
Xbox console and you have a PC VR headset as well. So if you decide to go down that route, you've already got that ready to go.
Yeah, and even if like this, the point I was making is if you've got nothing else in your house, if you don't have a TV, if you don't have a console, if you don't have a PC, for £100 to £200, you can pick up this device that will essentially do 80% of everything else that is going on.
Add another 50 quid because you need to buy a controller. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
So yeah, but no, I would. Yeah, but you could probably pick up a second-hand one for 20 quid or something.
You
But
could
yeah,
probably
no,
pick up an
it
older
is.
one for
It
20
is.
quid.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so I get the use cases for them, and I think it's a good idea, and I think it's nice to see that things are becoming more combined because everything has been very siloed, hasn't it? It's like this is Meta, this is Steam, this is Pico, and now the Steam and the Meta stuff is kind of coming a bit more together with the Steam Link stuff. Yes, we've had virtual desktop, but that's more for people and enthusiasts, I think. And also you have to pay for it. And it does its job, and it does it incredibly well. But Steam have done what Steam have done with the store, where you press a button and it works.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
most people are lazy. So if you press a button and it works, I'll use that. And I don't want to have to faff with all this other stuff.
I still haven't
So-
tried the Steam VR, the Steam app.
honestly,
yet. I've been using
it-
Virtual
it-
Desktop.
It works really well. It works really well. I was
Every
very
time I
impressed.
think about using it, I get onto it and I'm just like, oh, I could try out the Steam app thing, and then I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna have to look at my computer and get the fucking digits off of it, and like that small gap because I've already got access to.
Yeah, but you
Virtual
only
desktop
have
and
to do it once.
Oh, I know. It's just because I'm already used to the system that I'm using.
Mhm.
That is pushing me away from
But
it.
again, because you're an enthusiast, if you take the average person off the street and they bought their kid a Quest for Christmas or for their birthday or whatever, and the kid is already a PC gamer, and they suddenly go, "Oh, I can connect this to that just by putting in a 4-digit code once, and it doesn't cost me anything." What are you going to do?
I have a few of Steam games that don't work in Steam Link. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't work on everything.
No,
No,
I
but
would
for
be
free,
interested
I
to
mean,
know what games they are, because there are games on Steam that only work with Oculus headsets and don't work with the Index.
Yeah.
Are there?
So, but yeah, there was loads.
I did
There
not
was
know
loads.
this.
So I believe Dirt Rally, the first one, only worked on Oculus headsets. It didn't work on anything else. Dirt Rally 2 works on both, but Dirt Rally only worked on Oculus because it was using the Oculus runtime. But a lot of that is changing now. So I'm willing to bet it's older games rather than new ones. I may be wrong, but that's what I would think, because it's the change from everything to be their own, again, siloed, to everyone using the same XR runtime. Yeah? Because
Yeah,
now that it's all using the same thing, everything can work with it. So, yeah, it's interesting. But again, it's like we had Revive for a while. So if you had bought games on... Because that's the other thing you have to bear in mind with things. If you've bought games on the Oculus Store, you can play those with a headset, yeah, because you've got Oculus Link. And now you've got Steam Link, you can play games on the Steam Store with the same headset. And you couldn't do that before unless you had like Revive, but then you had to understand what Revive was and how it worked, or Virtual Desktop and how that worked. But now it's just click, 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 done. So everything is becoming smoother, and the entry point is becoming easier. And because it's becoming easier, that's when people will start to pick up and start to do it. So having that Steam Link is a much bigger deal than a lot of people realize because of the ease of doing stuff.
Oh, 100% agree. Like anything that removes barriers to entry for your average Joe is what is going to make VR work or not work.
I mean, that's the thing that I think a lot of us, is what we do with our stuff, we forget, because we've been doing it for God knows how long. It's like, but the average person has never put a headset on. So the easier it is and the less stress it is to make it work, and it is going to make it more and more popular and make it easier for people to use. Because no one's going to cock around with stuff for 5 hours unless they have to. We will, because we like the tech and we find it interesting. But most people just want it to work.
Right. I think unless there's any other topics you want to cover, boys, I think that might be the end of our stream this week. And
I think
this
I've
year.
bored everyone enough.
No,
You haven't bored anyone, man.
no,
I
you've always
think
got interesting points, and like you go into detail about stuff and the reason why you think it, and yeah, that's great. So
They're realistic jokes.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I am stupid as well. I do make stupid jokes and say silly things, and but I think with stuff like this, when we're actually talking about it, as in VR itself and how the industry and all that sort of work, and I think it's important to talk about those things. But again, all I want from any of this is to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just want games that are fun. That's it.
Well,
And
what is it you're going to be doing over the next week then? What are you going to be doing over the Christmas period, VR wise?
I don't know. I'm gonna play. I will definitely play more of Asgard's Wrath 2. Definitely play at least another 2 hours and see if it improves my opinion. Well, if it changes my opinion of it, okay? Because I think from what I understand, there's a lot more behind it that I haven't seen yet. I'm just disappointed it takes this long to get to that. But I would say that about any game that did that. If you don't hook me within the first 30 minutes, I'm generally not done. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, and I won't go anymore. But that's me. I'm definitely going to finish Resident Evil Remake in VR. Really, really enjoyed that. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to go. One thing I want to try and get done as well is more physical meetups with everyone, actually getting together.
Yeah.
I think this year we've been pretty good. I think I've got together with a lot of other VR people probably 5 times this year across the country. So
I think we need to choose a different meeting point. For some of the
this
others.
this is the point I keep making. It's like maybe we should do something a bit up north, because everyone keeps coming down to London, and that's not really fair all the time. But the problem is most of the stuff that happens is in London.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
we've got WASD coming up in March, so everyone's going to be there.
I thought it was
Hopefully,
April.
I thought maybe I can.
I have a
find
feeling
out,
it's
but
April, the week after I get back from Disney.
I've already been sent a pass, which surprised me. They were like, "Here you are."
Yep.
And I was like, "Okay,
All
cool,
right.
thanks." But it's like, this year we had WAS, we had EGX, we had a load of us got together to meet at the Unreal Engine VR meetup, which was really interesting. Again, tech-wise, it's like, that's fascinating. And, I have my opinions on that, which I've said about. So yeah, and at the end of the day, I just want to have fun. I just want to play games with my friends, and that's it, really.
Indy,
That's
what
the
are you going to
main
be
thing.
up to over Christmas?
I don't know. Gaming wise, I've got to finish Resident Evil. Maybe Asgard's Wrath. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to bother finishing out Arizona Sunshine Story Mode. A lot of Nintendo stuff because I got the Switch recently, and there's so much stuff I need to play. And they've just got really good sale at the moment, so I'm trying not to look at it. Yeah, yeah, man. How about you, Power?
So my plan for tomorrow is I'm thinking of streaming Asgard's Wrath and actually like having people there with me to push me and spur me on to try and get a few more hours under my belt before I make a decision if I'm going to complete it or not. I've got a shit because fucking Vampire Survivors has released the adventure modes. So I thought I'd completed the fucker after 68 hours. No, they've given me more stuff, so I've now put another 6 or 7 hours into it. I'll probably
Just
put another
when you
6 or
thought
7.
you were out, isn't it?
Exactly, and it keeps dragging me back in. So
Have you played Death Must Die?
no.
That's a Vampire Survivors like. It's very good.
Oh,
Didn't they
don't
have
tell him
that
that.
awards last year?
Don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, so yeah, I'll probably give that a go then. As far as other VR games are concerned, I'm planning on getting back into doing Walkabout Wednesdays. That is on my list of things to get back up and running. And because as I said, like I've realized recently that actually I just love VR shooters. So I'm probably going to be like pivoting my channel a bit more towards streaming just shooter stuff. I'll still review other things and devices and all that bits and bobs. But yeah, I think I'm going to be pivoting towards more shooter-based gameplay for streaming because that's just what makes me happy.
And that's what we want from all of this stuff. Just want to be happy.
Yeah.
But again, what I think just before we go, remember, anyone can have an opinion on that, and if you disagree with them, don't be a cunt.
It is your choice to be offended. It is your choice to be offended.
But my point is, if someone has a difference of opinion on you on a game, don't tell them they're wrong, because they're not wrong. It's their opinion. Okay? Try and understand why they feel that way, sure, but don't attack someone for having an opinion that's different than yours, because that doesn't help anyone.
Yeah, I get it.
There are people that are wrong with opinions. Sorry, there is an extent when it comes to games.
Opinions are not factual.
No, they're not. But there is
Facts you can get wrong. Opinions you cannot.
Yeah, but there are certain things that you can get wrong. Like Hitler was right. That's a firmly in the it was wrong opinion.
Okay, that fair enough. But
Sorry,
let's be
I'm being
honest.
pedantic, but yeah.
Yes, you are. But you get my point. I just think, everyone wants to have fun with games. If you enjoy something and someone else doesn't, that's fine. Okay, it takes nothing away from you, and it takes nothing away from them. Let people enjoy what they enjoy, as long as they're not hurting anyone else. That's my main thing.
Especially on the internet. Especially on the internet.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to actually interact with these people.
Yeah. But thank you very much for inviting me on again. I always have a nice time chatting to you guys.
I love chatting to you, man. It's been a long time since me and you have chatted. I think, God, I can't actually remember the last time me and you had a chat.
2 years ago.
No, it's not that long ago. Fuck off.
Wasn't last EGX, it was EGX before.
I'm sure.
And then the podcast afterwards. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, we need to do something about that then. Right. It's been wonderful, people. Indy, as always.
It was one thing I just want to say thanks to everyone for donating on my channel. We raised £102.97. So times 2.
Well done.
I'll match that. So it's £205.94 for Alzheimer's UK. Thank you, everyone, guys. You've been great.
I will also be donating every penny that was on my channel over to Indy's Alzheimer's as well.
Oh, cheers! Thanks, appreciate that, mate.
Yeah,
really appreciate that. Thanks,
I'll total it up at some point, and I'll send you over a PayPal or something, mate.
And it'd be rude for Mac not to do the same.
I was going to say, can you speak for Mac, Buck? Yeah. So, yeah, Buck has said Mac's doing it. But I think, that's only right.
So that we're clear, this bottle's almost kicked. I know you can't see because of the green screen, but it's like here. And I did just over half a bottle of vodka in the end. I didn't have to touch the beer. That was nice.
I think you should do a shot for luck before we go.
Go on then. We'll do one shot as we kick it out.
I got off lightly because I was like, no.
I'll tell you what, man. I genuinely thought when I did the vodka hot sauce shot that I was gonna whitey.
You went fucking weird.
I'm amazed you both made it this far. I did have a feeling it was like this is gonna be the shortest podcast I've ever been on.
Oh fuck! We'll do one more vodka as well.
Yeah, go on, son.
Just to finish it out.
Christmas time.
In for next year, someone's asked me. It's like, no.
Nostrovia.
Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, thanks, Buck. Thanks, Indy.
Cheers,
Thank
everyone.
you, people. It's been wonderful.
Everyone have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2024. Thank you very much, Buck. It's been awesome. We'll have you on again, mate. And everyone,
anytime.
Yeah, enjoy your time off work and stuff. I'll be streaming. I'll catch you on Tuesday. And yeah, that's tomorrow. Shit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cool. All right, guys. See you later. Cheers, Buck. Bye.
Bye.